My flash marriage husband turned out to be my big boss. To put it simply, it's a trial marriage for a year. In the lawyer's office, Zhen held the prenuptial agreement in her hands, 2 pages long, and read each word very carefully. Marriage was a serious matter and couldn't be taken lightly. The terms of the agreement were not unfavorable to her. In fact, she came from an ordinary family, had only a few thousand yuan in savings, and had little that could be exploited. The agreement mainly served to protect the man's interests. After finishing the last word, she quickly processed what she'd just read and said, "I accept all the terms. Since there are no issues, please sign here, Miss Xu," the lawyer said, pushing the pen toward her. Zhen took the pen, but before signing, she couldn't help but glance at Xin Lingfeng. He was sitting on the sofa, leisurely drinking coffee, his sharp, handsome features partially obscured by the cup. This was their first meeting, and she hadn't expected him to look so good. Strong brows, bright eyes, tall and broad-shouldered. Unfortunately, his face lacked expression, giving him a naturally cold demeanor. After a brief glance, she quickly looked away and signed her name without hesitation. His name had already been signed, with a strong, fluid stroke. The lawyer confirmed her signature and then looked at Xin Lingfeng. "Mr. Zhen, everything is in order." Xin Lingfeng silently set down his cup, grabbed his suit jacket from the sofa armrest, and stood up. "Let us go." Zhen stood and asked, "Where to?" "Tianhua Garden." As he spoke, Xin Lingfeng gave her a brief, indifferent glance before heading toward the door. Zhen was still confused and was about to ask again when the lawyer standing by reminded her. "Mr. Zhen has a property at Tianhua Garden." Zhen suddenly understood. She had been confused earlier, having registered for marriage in the morning and now signing the prenuptial agreement. Of course, they would be moving into his house next. Their marriage was actually the wish of Xin Lingfeng's grandfather. It all started when Zhen's half-brother had incurred over 5 million yuan in debt from illegal businesses. Seeing the family cornered and her mother in tears, Zhen had no choice but to ask Xin Lingfeng's grandfather for help. He agreed to assist, but on the condition that Zhen marry his eldest grandson. When Xin Lingfeng's grandfather was younger, he met Zhen's maternal grandfather in the countryside. They got along well and became sworn brothers. Later, when Xin Lingfeng's grandfather returned to the city, they met less frequently, but still exchanged gifts and greetings during holidays. When Zhen went to university in Yesui City, she received a lot of care from Xin Lingfeng's grandfather. They occasionally had meals together, and had become familiar with one another. However, she had never met Xin Lingfeng before, as he had been working in the overseas division of the Zhen Corporation. It was only 6 months ago that he returned to China and fully took over the family business. Xin Lingfeng was nearing his 30s, and his grandfather was eager for him to get married, believing Zhen to be the perfect match. Zhen was deeply grateful for the help her family had received, and without any mental burden, agreed to his grandfather's request. She didn't get along well with her stepfather and half-brother, so this was an opportunity to leave home. The prenuptial agreement had been proposed by Xin Lingfeng, and Zhen thought it was only fair, without any objections. The car ride was very quiet. Xin Lingfeng looked out the left window, and Zhen, noticing his indifference and unwillingness to talk, didn't bother him and turned to look out the right window instead. However, she could smell a faint woody scent, something like fur, which matched his cold demeanor perfectly. Upon arriving at Tianhua Garden, he silently got out of the car and instructed the driver to take her luggage to the elevator. Zhen didn't mind his attitude. After all, forced marriage was hardly something anyone would be happy about. She had seen enough of the marriages around her, including her mother's, to have no unrealistic expectations about it. Earlier in the morning, at the Civil Affairs Bureau, due to Xin Lingfeng's cold expression, the staff had even asked, "Are you sure you want to register for marriage?" There were all kinds of marriages in this world, not all of them based on love. They were just one of those without any affection. She got out of the car, and Xin Lingfeng handed her an IC card and a business card, the latter with a few numbers written on it. The numbers on the card are the door code. The apartment is on the top floor. Private elevator, you need to swipe the card to use it. His voice was deep and pleasant, but because of his indifferent expression, it sounded distant, even a little cold. Zhen nodded, taking the card. Got it. Xin Lingfeng didn't spare her another glance and turned to get back into the car. But then, he suddenly turned back around. Have you looked at the agreement carefully? You're free to make your marriage status public, but you can't reveal that I'm your husband. I don't want your family using my name for their own gain. Zhen was taken aback, not expecting him to bring this up again. Indeed, there was such a clause in the agreement. Within the first year, the woman couldn't disclose the man's identity. And just yesterday, Lingfeng's grandfather had specifically called her to mention it, explaining that Lingfeng didn't think they had a foundation for love, and that after a year, if things went well, they could go public. To put it simply, it was a trial marriage for a year. Zhen had no objections. She had agreed without a second thought. She was already thinking ahead. If they ever got divorced, she didn't want to be known as Mrs. Zhen while fighting for her career. She had some thoughts of divorce in mind, maybe when she had enough money to pay back the Zhen family, or when Lingfeng brought it up himself. She had signed the agreement, and Lingfeng had even emphasized that she verbally promised to abide by it, which made her slightly angry. Mr. Zhen, I've read every term carefully, and I've signed it. I will absolutely follow the terms. As for our marriage, no one around me knows, not even my mother. But unfortunately, my grandfather knows. It was Lingfeng's grandfather who told him. After a pause, she added, however, I need to tell one good friend about my marriage, so that she can help me keep it a secret from my family. But don't worry, I won't tell her about your identity. Is that okay? Lingfeng narrowed his eyes, scanning her beautiful yet slightly angry face. Fine. But inside, he thought, didn't he expect her to have a temper? All the previous gentleness and docility had been an act. He must have hit a nerve, which made her angry. Without saying anything more, he got back into the car. Once the car left Tianhua Garden, he remembered he hadn't told her they were supposed to have dinner at the Zhen family's old house that evening. It was an order from his grandfather, and he had to comply. He was about to call her, but then realized he didn't have her phone number. They hadn't even exchanged WeChat. Anything related to her had been conveyed by his assistant. He called his assistant, Yang Zhuming. Tell Zhen that the old man wants us to have dinner at the family mansion at 7 p.m. tonight. When Yang Zhuming called Zhen, she had already entered Lingfeng's apartment. The apartment occupied an entire floor on the top floor. It was enormous and lavishly decorated, with expensive-looking furniture and fittings. She thought to herself that if it weren't for marrying Lingfeng, she probably wouldn't have lived in such luxury. Although it was only for a year, it would definitely be something to look back on for the rest of her life. Standing in the living room, she naturally answered the phone call from Yang Zhuming. He was the assistant who had been in touch with her these past few days, and though their first conversations were strange, they had already grown somewhat familiar. I understand, I'll be at the old house by 7 p.m. tonight. But I don't know the address of the old house. Can you send it to me? After hanging up, Yang Zhuming quickly sent her the address of the Zhen family's compound in Nanluo Alley via WeChat. Zhen checked the map and realized that it would take about an hour to get from Tianhua Garden to Nanluo Alley. She then began unpacking her luggage. Given Lingfeng's attitude earlier, she believed he wouldn't want to share the master bedroom with her. And frankly, she didn't want to either. All the other bedrooms had beds, so she picked the smallest room, though it lacked any bedding. She was glad she had packed her own bedding, otherwise, she would have had to buy new ones. Chapter 2, Disappointed with Lingfeng. After finishing packing her luggage, it was nearly 2 p.m., and Zhen still hadn't had lunch. She walked into the kitchen to see if there was anything she could quickly make, but the only things in the fridge were eggs and milk. Reluctantly, she went downstairs and bought a pack of instant noodles from the small supermarket in the neighborhood. After getting into college, because her stepfather refused to pay for her tuition, she had to work part-time to earn money. To save on expenses, she had gotten used to eating instant noodles. As she was eating her noodles, her best friend Lin Jing sent a message. I'm at the Blue Sky branch. Why aren't you at work? Zhen, I got married today and took a day off. Lin Jing sent a shocked emoji. Today? How did you decide so quickly? Why didn't you think it over carefully? A few days ago, Zhen had already told Lin Jing that she was getting married to someone introduced by a colleague, but she hadn't wanted to announce it yet. She planned to test the marriage first and had asked Lin Jing to help her keep it a secret from her family. Lin Jing knew about Zhen's family situation. Her stepfather ran a tea house but was involved in gambling, drinking, and mingling with shady characters. He also kept a mistress, and Zhen's half-brother was just as bad, often causing trouble. Her mother, who was weak and submissive, turned a blind eye to her stepfather's behavior and indulged her troublesome son. After Shuzhen started working, she gave half her salary to her mother for household expenses because the money from the tea house was squandered by her stepfather and brother. Not only did they not contribute a penny to her mother, but sometimes they even asked her for money. Her mother worked as a cashier in a pharmacy, earning a little over 3,000 yuan a month, but even with the 4,000 Shuzhen contributed, they still couldn't make ends meet. Lin Jing assumed Shuzhen was marrying someone she had never dated in order to relieve the financial burden from her family. Shuzhen, I've already thought it through. In reality, she didn't need to think much. The favor from the old mansion was something she might never be able to repay in her lifetime. The only thing she could do was fulfill his wish and marry Shen Lingfeng. If my mom asks you, you must tell her that I've moved into the bank's dorm. The bank Shuzhen worked for did have employee dormitories, but since she wasn't yet a permanent employee, she didn't have the right to apply for one. Lin Jing, I remember. Don't worry. I'll treat you to hot pot this weekend to celebrate. Shuzhen replied with okay. She felt guilty for lying to her best friend and couldn't imagine what Lin Jing would think when she found out the truth one day. After finishing her noodles, Shuzhen went to bed to catch up on sleep. The night before, she had been so nervous about getting her marriage certificate that she had hardly slept at all. At 5 p.m., her alarm woke her up, and she noticed she had received 2 messages. One was from her bank account showing a deposit of 100,000 yuan, and the other was from Shen Lingfeng's assistant, informing her that the household expenses for the month had been transferred into her account. She raised her eyebrows after reading the messages. The agreement stated that Shen Lingfeng would transfer 50,000 yuan to her monthly for household expenses, not 100,000 yuan. Why was there an extra 50,000? She decided to ask him about it when they had dinner at the old residence tonight. The business card he gave her had his phone number, but since he preferred everything to be communicated through his assistant, she figured it was best not to bother him directly. After a quick shower, she put on a well-fitted dress and a coat and headed out. When she left the gate of Chanhuaiwan, her ride had just arrived. She asked the driver to wait and went into the nearby supermarket to buy bananas and peaches. She couldn't afford anything expensive, so she bought some of the fruits the old mansion liked. Once in the car, her mother sent her a message. Zhen, have you arranged everything? Are you coming back for dinner tonight? Shuzhen replied, everything's arranged. I'm not coming back. I plan to have dinner with my colleagues from the dorm. Her mother, that's fine. It's your first day moving in, so it's important to bond with your colleagues. Shuzhen, I'll visit you when I have time. Her mother, don't worry about me. As long as you're doing well, I'm at ease. Shuzhen sighed. She understood that her mother truly wanted her to be happy, but whenever her half-brother got into trouble, her mother would turn to her for help since her stepfather was useless. Shuzhen was the only person her mother could rely on. When Shuzhen arrived at Nanluo Lane, the car had trouble finding a parking spot, so she got out at the entrance of the alley and carried the fruit inside. Old man Shen had called earlier to let him know she was arriving soon, so he had asked the butler, Zhangbo, to wait for her at the door. Zhangbo took the fruit and greeted her with a smile. Old man Shen was very happy when he saw the fruits she bought his favorites. You're so thoughtful, granddaughter-in-law. Lingfeng's boy doesn't even know what I like to eat. He definitely knows, just that he's too busy with work to take care of such details. Now that she was married to Shen Lingfeng, Shuzhen made an effort to defend him in front of the old man. It seemed to please him. Old man Shen had high blood pressure and needed to stay in a good mood. He grinned and pointed at Shuzhen, saying to Zhangbo, see, she is already protecting that boy on the first day of marriage. I knew I made the right choice for a granddaughter-in-law. Although Shuzhen was putting on an act, she still blushed slightly as she spoke to the old man like that. Old man Shen pulled her to sit beside him. Your parents are still traveling abroad and won't be back for another half-month. We'll have a small dinner tonight to celebrate. When your parents return, we'll throw a banquet so you can meet the rest of the family. Shuzhen didn't care. The fewer Shen family members she met, the better, especially since Shen Lingfeng's attitude toward the marriage was so cold. But she still put on an appropriate smile and nodded. At 7 p.m., Shen Lingfeng still hadn't arrived. Old man Shen frowned and asked Zhangbo to call him. Just as Zhangbo was about to make the call, Shen Lingfeng called instead, saying he had an important business dinner and couldn't make it to the old residence. Old man Shen was furious, puffing up his cheeks. Tell him to come back right now. No dinner is more important than having dinner with his wife on the first day of their marriage. Xu Zhen felt disappointed with Xin Lingfeng. If he had chosen to get married, regardless of whether he was willing or not, he should at least make some effort to please the old man. Maybe there really was an important dinner, but since today was the day they got their marriage certificate, he should have cleared his schedule for it. Was pleasing the old man not more important than giving her face? But as the granddaughter-in-law, she had the responsibility to calm the old man's heart. Grandfather Shen, don't be angry. It must be an important dinner, so Brother Lingfeng couldn't he refuse? When he is free, we'll come back and accompany you. Old man Shen sighed. I don't need you to accompany me. I can find my own fun. I just want you both to live in harmony. Zhen, don't spoil that boy too much, or he'll get carried away. Xu Zhen smiled and nodded. At that moment, Shen Lingfeng was in a Chinese restaurant at one of the Shen family hotels, hosting a welcome dinner for Zhang Wenxing, who had just returned to the country. Their mutual friend, Wang Yu, was also there. Shen Lingfeng didn't avoid their presence when he called Zhang Bo, and the two of them knew that he was supposed to be having dinner with the old man tonight. Chapter 3, Mutual Respect. We can reschedule this dinner for another day, Zhang Wenxing said. I go back to the old house to have dinner with the old man every few days, but it's been almost a year since I've seen you, my brother, Shen Lingfeng replied, signaling his assistant to pour wine for Zhang Wenxing. Zhang Wenxing had worked in investment banking overseas for many years. He had returned this time because of an invitation from Shen Lingfeng, who was planning to appoint him as the president of AK Bank, a subsidiary of the Shen Group. Wang Yu glanced at Shen Lingfeng, hesitating to speak. Shen Lingfeng knew that his grandfather had forced him into marriage, and he also knew that today was their registration day. So, going back to the old house for dinner tonight wasn't just about visiting the old man. At their age, it was normal to be urged by elders to get married, but to have one chosen for them was excessive. Therefore, Wang Yu felt great sympathy for his friend. At the same time, he couldn't help but feel a bit of schadenfreude, as the ever-successful business magnate, Shen Lingfeng, had stumbled in marriage. So, he deliberately said, Lingfeng has an apartment in Tianhuayuan, Wenxing. You can stay there for now. Don't bother with a hotel. Zhang Wenxing, unaware of the deeper meaning, chuckled and said, Sure, Shen, your house is a mansion, I might as well enjoy it. Shen Lingfeng shot Wang Yu a cold glance before saying to Zhang Wenxing, I've already bought you a house, also in Tianhuayuan. Zhang Wenxing was not only his good friend but also a talented individual, and Shen Lingfeng wanted to give him the best treatment. Wang Yu, understanding from the look on Shen Lingfeng's face that he did not want to talk about his marriage, kept quiet and refrained from teasing him further. Shen Lingfeng didn't intend to hide the truth from Zhang Wenxing, it was just that bringing up the topic of marriage at this point would ruin the mood of the dinner. Back at the Shen family's old house, the dinner was lavish, and Shen Lingfeng's grandfather kept piling food on Xu Zhen's plate until she was full. After dinner, since she had to work the next day, Xu Zhen excused herself after having some fruit. Shen Lingfeng's grandfather ordered the driver to take her home. When she arrived at Tianhuayuan, it was already past 10 o'clock. Shen Lingfeng still hadn't returned, but Xu Zhen wasn't planning to wait for him. After washing up, she went to bed. It was hard to fall asleep in an unfamiliar house. Just as she was about to drift off, she heard a noise outside her bedroom. Her sleepiness vanished immediately. Xu Zhen got out of bed and saw the door to the master bedroom open, which meant Shen Lingfeng had returned. As she hesitated whether to go and greet him, Shen Lingfeng emerged from the room, wearing only a bath towel around his waist. His tanned, muscular skin was still damp, radiating health, and his natural sex appeal was undeniable. Xu Zhen quickly turned her face away, her cheeks flushing. You're back, she stammered, her voice dropping. Shen Lingfeng let out a soft HMPH from deep in his throat and walked past her without acknowledging her. She hesitated for a moment but decided she needed to have a conversation with him. They didn't need to pretend to be a loving couple, but they did need to respect each other and not make Shen Lingfeng's grandfather worry. She didn't want to keep hearing complaints from Shen Lingfeng's grandfather, like tonight, only for her to end up defending him. She followed him into the dining room. Shen Lingfeng grabbed a bottle of ice water from the fridge, took a few gulps, and then turned to look at her with furrowed brows. What is it? Grandpa is really upset tonight, Xu Zhen said seriously. Shen Lingfeng closed the bottle of water and placed it on the table. I really did have an important dinner. I wasn't trying to make things difficult for you. Xu Zhen nodded. I believe you must have had an important dinner. But when Xin Lingfeng heard this, his gaze grew colder, as if he thought she was provoking him. She looked into his deep, indifferent eyes and said, Grandpa helped my family pay off their debts, which is an enormous favor to me. I really hope he can be happy. Since we've chosen to get married, we need to respect each other like a normal couple, and let Grandpa be at ease. Xin Lingfeng's expression changed as he considered her words, wondering if she was sincere. While tonight's dinner was important, it could have been postponed. He had thought that after the registration, both she and Grandpa should be satisfied. Whether he went back to the old house for this meal should have been unimportant. He hadn't expected them to take it so seriously. Her words felt like a reprimand, implying that he didn't care about Grandpa, and it made him feel uncomfortable. I know better than you how to care for my grandfather, he said coldly. Xu Zhen froze for a moment, not expecting him to put her in such an awkward position. But then she realized he might have misunderstood her. She quickly explained, I didn't mean that. What I meant is that on important days, if we could return to the old house together, it would make Grandpa feel like we're getting along well, and he can rest easy. But Xin Lingfeng, hearing this, felt like she was using his grandfather to pressure him into being the husband she wanted him to be. He could be a competent husband, but only voluntarily, not through coercion. Still cold, he replied, important business engagements can't be postponed or cancelled, and Grandpa will understand that. As my wife, you should understand and also help suit Grandpa. Xu Zhen could tell he was angry, but she didn't realize he thought so poorly of her. Wanting to calm him down, she said softly, I understand. I will try to be a good wife. But since we're living under the same roof, I hope we can clear things up if we have any issues. If there's anything I'm doing wrong, please just tell me directly. Xin Lingfeng looked at her deeply. When he returned to the country, Grandpa had praised her endlessly in front of him, saying she was a good girl and very beautiful. He had indeed been stunned when he first saw her, especially by her almond-shaped eyes, which were clear and pure. Even now, wearing her plain, modest pajamas, she couldn't hide her fresh, pure beauty. But thinking about her family's illegal business dealings and the way she had manipulated Grandpa into choosing her as his granddaughter-in-law, resentment bubbled up in his chest. For so many years, Grandpa never cared about his romantic life or marriage, but as soon as he returned to the country, Grandpa seemed so concerned, even choosing someone for him. It was hard for him not to overthink. His face darkened as he walked past her. But she still had something to say. Wasn't the monthly allowance supposed to be 50,000? Why is there an extra 50,000? Honestly, 50,000 is already too much. I can't even spend that much. Xin Lingfeng, not turning back, said, Grandpa said 50,000 was too little, so he added another 50,000. He also said he would buy you a car. If you want, you can use the extra money for a car loan. Xu Zhen watched him leave the dining room, letting out a quiet sigh. She could hear the sarcasm in his words, but when it came to money, she knew she was in the wrong. There was no way she could spend all that money, so she would hold onto it for now and pay it back when she could. Chapter 4, A Cog in the Shen family's machine. When Xin Lingfeng returned to his bedroom and was about to go to bed, his mother, Wang Rong, sent him a WeChat message, Son, are you asleep? Xin Lingfeng, I was about to sleep. Not long after he sent the message, Wang Rong sent a video call request. With a sigh, Xin Lingfeng answered. Mom, it's really late. Did you get your marriage certificate today? Xin Lingfeng replied with a simple Have you met her? What do you think? It was the first time we met, didn't he say much, nothing worth mentioning. He believed Xu Zhen's true intentions wouldn't be revealed so quickly. Seeing her son's uninterested demeanor, Wang Rong was almost certain he didn't like Xu Zhen. She had never met Xu Zhen, but she had heard that she was very pretty. However, it was obvious her son wasn't one to be swayed by looks. As for character, although old Master Shen said she was a good girl, given her unreliable mother and the criminal activities of her stepfather and brother, it was hard to believe that Xu Zhen was untouched by corruption. It seemed her son had been wronged. All she could hope for was that this daughter-in-law was merely greedy for money and wouldn't cause trouble. Where are you two staying? Wang Rong asked. Tianhua Garden, Xin Lingfeng replied, rubbing his forehead. He had been in meetings all day, and after socializing in the evening, he had drunk a few more glasses. Now he was exhausted. Upon hearing this, Wang Rong was sure her son hadn't yet accepted Xu Zhen as his wife. Xunling Feng had a villa in Yuan, which was nestled in the mountains by water. If he wasn't working late, he would return there. Tianhua Garden was just a temporary place. It seemed her son's thoughts aligned with hers. This wife, whom old Master Shen had forced on him, needed more time for observation before he decided whether to accept her. She had originally worried her son might be bewitched by her looks, but now she felt relieved and smiled. Get some rest. Good night. The video call ended. Xunling Feng lay in bed, thinking about what Xu Zhen had said in the restaurant. He held a high position and was sensitive and suspicious. Her words about caring for old Master Shen didn't surprise him at all. She must have thought that in order to secure her position in the Shen family, she had to act like she cared about old Master Shen, clinging to him for support. The next day, since he went to bed late, he didn't wake up until 7:30, an hour and a half later than usual. By the time he woke up, Xu Zhen had already left for work, but she had made him breakfast: boiled eggs, a cup of hot milk, and 3 slices of toasted bread. She must have learned about his breakfast preferences from old Master Shen, but he didn't eat bland boiled eggs. He preferred poached or fried eggs. He sneered at the boiled egg. If she wanted to please him, she hadn't put much thought into it. Didn't even bother to ask about his egg preferences. He ate the toast and drank the milk, leaving the boiled egg on the table. When she came back and saw it, she would know she hadn't really pleased him and exposed her true intentions. Xu Zhen hurried into the OCL Bank, Lanqian Road branch, and clocked in just before 8:30. Since moving to Tianhua Garden, it took her an extra half hour on the subway. Being even a minute late would leave a bad record and affect her chances of becoming permanent staff, so she realized she would have to wake up earlier starting tomorrow. There was less than a month left before her internship ended. After being made permanent, she hoped to apply for a position at the corporate counter to learn more business knowledge, which would be beneficial for promotion. With 20 minutes before opening, she took out her phone. One missed call and a WeChat message. The call was from her half-brother, Wang Xinghua, who then sent a message, as usual, asking for money with a tone of threat that wasn't surprising. Xu Zhen didn't plan on replying to him. She didn't return the call or reply to the message. Yang Hui, the comprehensive service manager with 2 years of experience, returned from the corporate counter. Yang Hui liked to gossip, but Xu Zhen, who was more reserved, preferred to be quiet. So, Yang Hui would often go find someone else to chat with. I heard a big news. Yang Hui always spoke in an exaggerated way and loved building suspense, but Xu Zhen knew she couldn't keep it in if she didn't get a response. AK Bank has acquired our bank. Xu Zhen had gotten used to Yang Hui's dramatic way of speaking, so she didn't react much. The news that AK Bank was acquiring OCL Bank wasn't new. It had been circulating for months, and everyone had been talking about it for the past couple of months, with it seeming like a done deal. OCL employees were happy to see it, the move from a middle-class bank to a more prestigious one. Yang Hui continued, "We're just a cog in the Shen family machine now." Xu Zhen paused. "What do you mean? What does the Shen family have to do with this?" Yang Hui looked at Xu Zhen with surprise. "You don't know AK Bank is under the Shen family?" The words shocked Xu Zhen, and she stared at Yang Hui in disbelief. Yang Hui rolled her eyes dramatically. "Xu Zhen, you're a bank employee, how do you not know about AK's background?" Xu Zhen awkwardly smiled. She hadn't paid much attention to the backgrounds of other banks. "Is it really acquired?" she asked. Jiang Jingzhen said so, how could it be false? Yang Hui winked as she spoke. Jiang Jingzhen was the niece of the HR department manager, Jiang Yi. She entered OCL Bank the same time as Xu Zhen and was assigned to the corporate counter. The news probably came from Jiang Yi, so it was likely true. Xu Zhen wasn't concerned about seeing Xunling Feng often. After all, she was just a small employee at the branch, and it was very difficult to meet the president of the head office, let alone the group's CEO. She set the matter aside and focused on her work. Later that morning, as she was nearing the end of her shift, when Xinghua called again. Xu Zhen declined the call, and he sent a WeChat message. "Xu Zhen, you really have the guts to never answer my calls. If you keep doing this, don't even think about caring about Chen Qianai. Only someone like Wang Xinghua, who was uneducated and constantly fighting, would disrespect his mother this way." Xu Zhen had grown numb to these threats. Soon after, her mother messaged her, asking her to come home for lunch. Although Shuzhen knew her mother's real purpose was to get money for Wang Xinghua, she agreed, thinking that she would have to give her mother some money soon anyway. When she entered the house, the smell of cilantro and braised beef filled the air. It seemed her mother had made the cilantro beef noodles she loved since childhood. Her mother came out of the kitchen with a large bowl of noodles. Just cooked. Shuzhen stood by the dining table, seeing that her mother's hair had more gray and her wrinkles more pronounced, making her look older and more exhausted. It pained her, but all she could do was sigh inwardly. Her mother was only 45, but she looked like she was in her 50s, all because of the torment caused by Wang Heng and Wang Xinghua. Zhen, sit down and eat. Shuzhen took the chopsticks, grabbed a bowl, and shared half of the noodles with her mother. I can't finish all this. Okay, I'll eat with you, her mother replied. Shuzhen ate slowly, and her mother asked, is it good? Good, thank you, Mom. Shuzhen answered with her head lowered, unable to look at her mother's hopeful expression. You moved out, so you won't be able to have your mom's noodles very often. Shuzhen paused with her chopsticks. She didn't say anything, just continued eating, but her heart felt heavy. Even though she still lived there, her mother rarely made these noodles because beef was too expensive. Chapter 5, Not Taking His New Wife Seriously. Her mother could live a life of comfort, yet every time when Xinghua asked for money, she would give him everything without a second thought, even if it meant living on instant noodles or plain porridge. If it weren't for her grandfather's frugality in supporting Shuzhen through college, she would have had to work in a factory right after high school. Her mother picked up a piece of beef and placed it in Shuzhen's bowl. Zhen, I heard that bank employees get preferential rates on loans, is that true? Hearing this, Shuzhen's heart skipped a beat. She hastily swallowed the piece of beef she hadn't chewed yet. Why are you asking about this? She had a bad feeling it was very likely that Wang Xinghua had caused trouble again. Her mother spoke cautiously, Tianhua wants to do business with his friends, and they need 200,000 yuan as an investment. Shuzhen didn't even ask what kind of business it was before she flatly refused, I don't have the money, and I'm not a permanent employee yet. But aren't you about to become permanent? I can't guarantee that I'll be confirmed. My daughter is so talented, she'll definitely get confirmed. Shuzhen didn't speak, simply lowering her head to continue eating. Just because her daughter was excellent, did that mean she had to be exploited by her son? She had wanted to say this to her mother for a long time, but remembering her grandfather's words, your mother is a confused and pitiful person, she couldn't bring herself to say it. Zhen, just help Tianhua, won't you? You don't want him to waste his time, do you? Shuzhen frowned at her mother's pleading tone. Mom, have you forgotten that last year when Xinghua and his friends were involved in illegal business and ended up owing over 5 million yuan? If it weren't for old Master Shen lending us money to pay off the debt, we'd have to sell this house to clear it. Old Master Shen is a billionaire, he doesn't care about this amount of money. Once Tianhua's business succeeds, he will definitely pay him back. Tianhua said that last time, he was just unlucky, but this time, everything will be foolproof. Shuzhen put down her chopsticks. Mom, how can you say that old Master Shen doesn't care about money? The money of the Shen family is earned through hard work. Last time, Tianhua was involved in illegal business, and luck had nothing to do with it. Although old Master Shen had told her that the money didn't need to be repaid, Shuzhen still told her mother that it was a loan and would need to be repaid in the future. She truly believed that the money should be repaid, so every month she put aside a portion of her income to save up, though she had no idea when she would be able to gather over 5 million yuan. This placed a significant financial strain on her, but it gave her peace of mind. Waiting for Wang Xinghua's business to succeed before paying it back would mean that old Master Shen's money was essentially a gift. Her mother sheepishly said, Tianhua always remembers old Master Shen's kindness and is eager to repay him. That's why he wants to partner with his friends. He said this business is very safe. There won't be a next time, Shuzhen interrupted her mother. You should advise him to get a proper job. If he wants to do business, he should save money honestly and never take out loans again. I have to go to work now, but I'll visit you often in the future. She couldn't stay any longer and transferred 4,000 yuan to her mother before leaving. Later, when she arrived at work, Wang Xinghua sent her a threatening text, Shuzhen, you're heartless and ungrateful. You will regret this. Shuzhen expressionlessly put her phone in her drawer. If she were truly heartless and ungrateful, Wang Xinghua would have been in prison by now. In the evening, after work, Shuzhen went to the supermarket in Tianhua Garden to buy groceries. The supermarket catered to wealthy residents, so it had a full selection of ingredients, including many imported items. Once back home, she sent a message to Shen Lingfeng's assistant, "Assistant Yarn, could you please ask Mr. Shen if he'll be home for dinner tonight?" At that moment, Shen Lingfeng was sitting in a car on his way to the airport. Yang Zhuming, sitting in the front passenger seat, turned to ask the backseat, "Boss, Madam asked if you'll be home for dinner tonight." With a professional expression, Yang Zhuming thought to himself, "Does the boss expect me to keep playing messenger between him and his wife?" Shen Lingfeng, who had been used to living alone and not accustomed to communicating these things, had forgotten to tell Shuzhen that he was going on a business trip. He didn't take his new wife seriously. He casually replied, "Just tell her I'm on a business trip." "Yes, sir." Although he gave this answer, Yang Zhuming, to avoid Mrs. Shen asking too many questions, replied in detail. "Madam, Mr. Shen is on a business trip to Xianqing today, and the return time is uncertain. It could be a few days." Shen Lingfeng looked expressionlessly out of the window, tapping his fingers on the car door's armrest, wondering whether he should add Shuzhen on WeChat for easier communication. But soon, he dismissed the idea, deciding to keep his distance for a while longer, to prevent her from getting the wrong impression that he had accepted her. After all, he had already given her his business card. She could have called him herself, but instead, she went through the assistant. This marriage was something she had sought, and yet, she seemed to be the one feeling wronged. Shuzhen received Yang Zhuming's reply and was stunned for a moment before sighing helplessly. Of course, she didn't entirely believe that Shen Lingfeng had done this intentionally. It was possible he had genuinely forgotten to inform her. However, she couldn't help but feel disappointed, especially after she had just told him the night before that mutual respect was important in a marriage. As she walked into the kitchen to prepare dinner, she immediately saw an egg on the dining table. She froze for a moment before realizing it must have been the egg she had boiled in the morning, but Shen Lingfeng hadn't eaten it. He had eaten the milk and toast, leaving the boiled egg behind, which showed he wasn't entirely averse to eating the breakfast she made, just that he didn't like boiled eggs. Last night, when Zhangbo had told her about Shen Lingfeng's food preferences, she had overlooked asking for more details. She scoffed, thinking to herself that the man was rather finicky. What was wrong with eating a boiled egg once in a while? The boiled egg sat conspicuously on the table as if it were blaming her, but she found it childish. Chapter 6. I didn't expect that she would marry such a person. Shuzhen picked up the hard-boiled egg and thought it would be a waste to throw it away. But at this time, she was also hungry, so she cracked the egg, peeled it, and ate it. It was difficult to cook for one person, so she happened to buy a pack of noodles for breakfast tomorrow, so she planned to cook a bowl of vegetable and shredded pork noodle soup for dinner. She put the extra ingredients in the refrigerator. It was enough for her to eat alone for the next few days. While she was cooking noodles, Shen Lingfeng walked into the airport terminal. He wanted to take his ID card to the assistant to check in, but he reached into his trouser pocket to take out his wallet, which was empty. Finally, all the pockets were emptied, the briefcase and suitcase were opened and looked through, but his wallet was not found. His eyes darkened and he thought for a moment, he must have left his wallet at home. He frowned slightly and said to his assistant, "Go to Chenhua Garden to get it now." The driver dropped them both at the airport and drove away. Yang Zhuming could only take a ride by himself to get his ID card. Yang Zhuming looked at his boss's dark face and said, "Boss, it's less than an hour before takeoff. It may be too late to come back." Hearing this, Shen Lingfeng's brows tightened even more. "Madam is at home at this time, why don't you ask her to send it over, so you can definitely make it in time?" Yang Zhuming suggested. This is the only way, Shen Lingfeng thought, and then asked Yang Zhuming to call Shuzhen quickly. When Shuzhen received Yang Zhuming's call, she was still cooking the noodles, which were almost done. She couldn't help but raise an eyebrow when she heard Yang Zhuming politely ask her to find Shen Lingfeng's ID card and then take him to the airport. "Since you are going to the airport to take a flight, how can you not check in advance whether you have any documents with you?" When she heard this kind of thing before, she felt that this kind of person was really lacking in talent. She didn't expect that she would marry such a person. Yang Zhuming said that time was tight, so she ignored the uncooked noodles, immediately turned off the fire, and trotted to Shen Lingfeng's bedroom to look for his wallet. As soon as she entered the room, she saw a white shirt and a pair of trousers on the bedside stool. They should be Shen Lingfeng's dirty clothes. Some people, especially men, often don't remember to take out their pockets when changing clothes to check if there is anything forgotten inside, and just throw them into the washing machine. Shuzhen's stepfather and brother are people like that, and she is used to them. So she directly checked the pocket of her trousers, and sure enough she took out a black leather wallet. When she opened the wallet, Shen Lingfeng's ID card was inside. Before hanging up the phone, she told Yang Zhuming that she had found her ID card and that she would take him to the airport now. Yang Zhuming said, "Madam, I have contacted the property management and arranged for someone to take you here. The car is waiting for you downstairs." Shuzhen didn't expect that Qian Huaiwan's property could provide such services. It was indeed a luxury residential area, which saved her time to call a taxi. She took her wallet and hurried out the door without having time to change into her home clothes. When she got out of the elevator, she walked in a hurry and almost bumped into a little boy running from the opposite side. She ducked out of the way and sprained her left foot. "It's probably because I injured my tendon. It's fine if I don't move, but it hurts when I move. But when I walk, the pain becomes even more intense. But the ID card must be sent, otherwise Shen Lingfeng will not be able to get on the plane." Gritting her teeth and enduring the pain, she quickly walked out of the corridor and got into the car arranged by the property management company. When she was approaching the domestic terminal, she called Yang Zhuming and told him that she had sprained her ankle and asked him to come outside the terminal to get her ID card. "Boss, my wife has sprained her legs and asked me to go outside to get my ID card," Yang Zhuming said to Shen Lingfeng. Hearing this, Shen Lingfeng was stunned for a moment, then thought about it. How could it be such a coincidence that when he asked her to give her an ID card, she sprained her ankle? He and Yang Zhuming walked out of the terminal together to see what Shuzhen was up to and what kind of drama she was playing. After leaving the terminal, Yang Zhuming found Shuzhen's car based on the license plate number. Shuzhen also saw them, stretched out the car window to wave, and said to the cell phone that was not hung up, "Assistant Yang, I see you." Yang Zhuming walked over quickly and took the wallet handed over by Shuzhen. Shen Lingfeng walked slowly and stared at Shuzhen in the car window. When he got closer, he asked indifferently, "Sprained your foot?" Yes, it's not serious. Just go back and apply some ice." Although Shen Lingfeng's face and tone were cold, and he didn't seem to care about her, she still answered him evasively. After all, he had to catch a flight and couldn't help her. And she didn't want him to think that she was pretending to be pitiful and seeking sympathy. Hearing what she said, a sneer flashed across Shen Lingfeng's lips, "As long as it's not serious. Thank you for sending my wallet. I have to catch a flight." After finishing speaking, he gave the assistant a leaving look, turned around and walked back to the terminal. He already had preconceived ideas and did not believe that Shuzhen really sprained his foot. And he saw that her face looked normal, not like she was injured. In his opinion, women are generally quite delicate and will complain after being injured. Maybe her acting skills are not perfect yet, or she has no experience in that area and doesn't know how to act coquettishly with a man. Although Yang Zhuming felt that the boss's attitude was too cold, as an assistant he should not get involved in the issues between the boss and his wife. He thanked Shuzhen and followed the boss away. As for Shuzhen, based on her understanding of Shen Lingfeng in the past 2 days, she felt that his attitude was normal, so she didn't take it to heart and asked the driver to drive away. The driver of the property management knew who Shen Lingfeng was. Seeing that his attitude toward his wife's injury was worse than that of a stranger, he couldn't help but sigh in his heart that a wealthy marriage is really hard to describe. Back at Qian Huaiwan, the driver was a man and it was inconvenient to help Shuzhen. He said that he wanted to find a lady to help her. She found it troublesome and refused, hopping back home. Fortunately, Shen Lingfeng had ice cubes in the refrigerator, probably for drinking ice wine. She wrapped the ice cubes in a towel and applied them to her feet. Because she had to force herself to walk after the sprained foot, the injured area was already red and swollen. This night, she either held the table and chair to walk, or jumped on one foot, cooked noodles to fill her stomach, took a bath, and finally lay on the bed tiredly. She looked at the ceiling, thinking that her foot was hurt like this and she couldn't move freely. It seemed like she would have to stay at home for a few days. Tomorrow is Friday. If her foot can heal within 3 days, she will only need to take 1 day off from the bank. Shen Lingfeng landed in Xiangqing at around 10 o'clock in the evening, and the branch company's shuttle bus took him to Shen's hotel. He and his assistant entered the hotel lobby, and a man and a woman came towards them hugging each other. Since the man and woman were flirting and laughing too loudly, he glanced at them. He felt that he had seen that man before somewhere, so he took another look. The man was about 40 years old, of medium height, slightly fat, and looked very slutty in his gestures, demeanor and tone. Yang Zhuming also noticed it. He had a good memory and recognized who the middle-aged man was, but in order to confirm, he took out his mobile phone and checked the information. Then, he whispered to Shen Lingfeng, "Boss, that man is my wife's stepfather Wang Heng." Hearing this, Shen Lingfeng suddenly realized, no wonder he felt familiar. He had read Xu Zhen's information, which contained photos of her family and friends. According to the information, Xu Zhen's stepfather was engaged in eating, drinking, prostitution and gambling. Unexpectedly, he met him by chance and allowed him to see one of his skills. The woman in Wang Heng's arms was wearing heavy makeup, scantily clad clothes, and her flirtatious eyes kept flying towards Shen Lingfeng. She didn't look like a serious woman. When Wang Heng saw Shen Lingfeng, a young, tall and handsome man walking across the street, seducing his woman, he glared at Shen Lingfeng with an angry look on his face. But when he met Shen Lingfeng's cold, dagger-like gaze, he couldn't help but flinch. Shen Lingfeng looked aristocratic at first glance, which Wang Heng could not afford to offend. Yang Zhuming on the side was wondering if the boss would greet his father-in-law, but Shen Lingfeng stopped looking at Wang Heng and passed him by. When Yang Zhuming saw this, he sighed secretly and shook his head. It's strange that the boss would recognize Madame S. stepfather's character. No wonder the boss would ask his wife to sign a prenuptial agreement and not allow her to disclose his identity. With such a dishonorable family, the boss would be so embarrassed. He thought the boss's wife was quite kind, and he was wondering whether he should send her a message to tell her that the boss had met her stepfather. Shen Lingfeng knew what his assistant was thinking and warned him, "Don't tell madam." Yang Zhuming's heart trembled and he quickly said, "Yes." Chapter 7. He needs to continue testing Xu Zhen. Early the next morning, Xu Zhen called the director of the branch office and told her that she had sprained her foot and needed to take a day off. The director did not embarrass her and said that it was no problem. If the private counter was busy, someone would be transferred from the public counter. In the evening, Lin Jing sent a WeChat message asking when she would be free and come out for dinner. She had no choice but to tell Lin Jing that she had sprained her ankle and could not go out. Lin Jing said she wanted to see her. She quickly refused, "No need to come see me, the problem is not big, just rest for a few days and it will be fine." She also lied, "My husband will take care of me." She was worried that when Lin Jing came, everything would be exposed. Lin Jing thought that Xu Zhen didn't want to introduce her husband to her yet, so she didn't force him. "Then if you have any questions, please contact me. My feet are healed. Let us get together sometime. It's been a long time." Xu Zhen typed 2 words with guilt, "Okay." By Sunday afternoon, Xu Zhen's foot seemed to be a little swollen and the pain was relieved, but she still couldn't force herself to walk, otherwise the injury would be aggravated and her recovery would be slower. She checked online and found that it would take about half a month to recover from her injury. But after taking so many days off, she was really worried that her boss would have objections. After all, she was still in her internship period. She was sitting on the sofa in the living room distressed when she suddenly heard someone pressing the password outside the door. It seems that Shen Lingfeng is back. His assistant said he was on a business trip for a few days. She thought it would take at least for 5 days, or even a week, but she didn't expect to be back on the 3rd day. Shen Lingfeng entered the door and saw Xu Zhen sitting on the sofa, with her left leg resting on a seat in front of her. Her left ankle was obviously swollen. His eyes tightened, thinking to himself, she really sprained her foot. Back. Xu Zhen looked up at him. His eyes glanced at her face. There was no emotion on her face, and he gave a faint hum. He wanted to say something, but stopped. He walked past her with his suitcase, left the living room, and went to his bedroom. Seeing his cold look, Xu Zhen didn't want to pay attention to him. She looked at her swollen and painful left ankle and continued to worry about asking for leave. She was thinking about asking Lin Jing to take her to and from get off work. Lin Jing had a car, and the place where she worked was quite close to the Lanqian branch, so it was convenient. Shen Lingfeng entered the bedroom and saw that the clothes he had changed were missing from the stool at the end of the bed. He guessed that Xu Zhen had taken them to wash. Before marriage, he hired a housekeeper to do housework in this house. After marriage, he asked the housekeeper not to come temporarily. Because he wanted to see how Xu Zhen was a wife and how to take care of a home. Now that her foot is injured, it is inconvenient to do anything. I don't know how she spent the past 3 days. He took out his mobile phone from his pocket and planned to call their housekeeper and ask him to come and cook and do laundry starting today. But just as he was about to dial the number, he gave up the idea. It is impossible for an ordinary family to have a housekeeper to do housework. If Shuzhen marries him and thinks that she can live a prosperous life with clothes to stretch out her hands and food to open her mouth, she would be wrong. He would not give her a chance to have such delusions. She just sprained one foot, it's not a serious illness. The other foot and both hands are fine, but it's just a little inconvenient to move around. Since she can come here these 3 days, she can live the same in the next few days. Mr. Shen is strict. Shen Lingfeng received a military education since childhood. When he was injured or sick abroad, he survived alone, which built his strong and unyielding character. He needs to continue to test Xu Zhen and make her completely disillusioned with marrying into a wealthy family and living the life of a noble woman. He walked out of the bedroom and went to the living room. He saw Xu Zhen looking at her feet in a daze. He didn't know what he was thinking. His deep eyes couldn't help but narrowed slightly. Have you bought groceries? What are you eating tonight? Xu Zhen came back to her senses and turned to look at him. I bought groceries on the day you went on a business trip and I haven't finished them yet. I can still cope with tonight's meal. As long as you don't ask for big fish and meat, and you want to eat a lot of food, that's fine, she thought to herself. Seeing that his brows were about to wrinkle, she added, there is still some beef and vegetables left. I can make beef noodle soup and cilantro, if you like. If he is dissatisfied, she can only ask him to solve his stomach problem on his own. He is a pampered young man, and he probably doesn't know how to cook. If he doesn't want to eat what she cooks, he can only go out and eat by himself. Seeing how relaxed she said it, Shen Lingfeng wasn't too embarrassed. He said indifferently, yeah, then let's eat beef noodles. Do you eat coriander? Xu Zhen asked. Eat. Your feet are inconvenient, do you need my help? No, I can move slowly. Xu Zhen refused without thinking. She didn't want him to touch her at all. Shen Lingfeng looked at her deeply and said, if you need help, just call me. After saying that, he turned around and went to the study. Xu Zhen glanced at her phone. It was already past 6 o'clock, and it was time to cook. So she slowly stood up, hopped on one foot, held up the table and chairs, and moved into the restaurant. When she took out the ingredients from the refrigerator, an idea suddenly came to her mind. Maybe Shen Lingfeng meant to help her cook, not to help her move to the restaurant. She may have misunderstood. This misunderstanding is quite embarrassing. No wonder he looked at her a little strange just now. Is it okay to ask him to come over and help now? She thought about it and decided to forget it, lest he cause trouble to her by being clumsy. What bothered her was moving her body, and now she was in the restaurant. Halfway through cooking the noodles, she suddenly felt that she, a sick and injured person, was cooking, while Shen Lingfeng, a healthy and painless person, was waiting leisurely to eat. It was too much. She thought of her mother, who had to endure hardships and endure hardships. Even when she was sick, she had to be bossed around by Wang Yong and his son. She doesn't want to be a woman like her mother. She picked up her phone and planned to ask Shen Lingfeng to help. She didn't know how to cook, so she could just lay out the dishes and hand things over. But she doesn't have his WeChat account, she can't have his business card on her, and she doesn't know his mobile phone number. At this time, she saw a figure at the entrance of the restaurant from the corner of her eye. When she looked up, Shen Lingfeng had arrived here without knowing it. It turns out that Shen Lingfeng was staying in the study. After much thought, he still felt like a bastard husband who abused his wife, so he came over to see how she was doing. But when she arrived at the restaurant, she was focused on cooking noodles, and she didn't seem to be aggrieved. Xu Zhen didn't care why he appeared here. She raised her eyebrows slightly and quickly seized the opportunity to prevent him from leaving. Since you are here, please help take out the bowls and chopsticks. The noodles are almost ready. Shen Lingfeng glanced at her and felt that he was right to come over. She still needed help. He calmly walked to the kitchen cabinet and took out 2 sets of dishes and chopsticks. Xu Zhen was afraid that he would leave, so she said, don't leave yet. The noodles will be ready soon. I need you to bring them to the table. Shen Lingfeng said nothing and stood waiting in front of the dining table, looking at her coldly. Looking at her skillful techniques and smelling the aroma, he judged that she had been cooking for many years and her cooking skills were very good. This aspect is an advantage for Shen Lingfeng. A family's daily meals are not delicious and are simply a disaster. Chapter 8. That's not what I meant. The noodles were finally cooked. Xu Zhen raised his head and glanced at Shen Lingfeng. Okay, bring the bowl over. Xin Lingfeng walked over, and she stretched out her hand to take the bowl, but he glanced at her, didn't give it to her, and scooped the noodles from the pot into the bowl. Then, he brought 2 bowls of beef noodles to the table. Shuzhen leaned on a chair and slowly moved to the dining table and sat down. She glanced at Xin Lingfeng, still a little concerned about whether he would like her craftsmanship. It has nothing to do with his wealthy status or that he is her husband. She simply hopes that anyone will like what she cooks. Everyone has his or her own dietary preferences. For example, didn't he eat that boiled egg a few days ago? A plate of coriander had been washed and placed on the dining table. Xin Lingfeng took half of it and put it into his beef noodles, stirred it a few times, and then started eating. Shuzhen also started to move and waited for his evaluation. But he just immersed himself in eating without saying a word. Since he can eat it, at least it won't taste bad. While eating noodles, she suddenly had an idea and wanted to ask him, can the property management company here arrange a car to take the owners to and from get off work? After hearing this, Xin Lingfeng sneered in his heart. She was about to start living the life of a lady, and she actually wanted a car to take her to and from get off work. He looked up at her and said coldly, "Why do you ask this?" Shuzhen swallowed a mouthful of noodles and said, "I have ankle sprains and it's inconvenient to take the subway to work, so I'd like to know if the property management company can arrange a pickup. This is a luxury community." A few days ago, the property management company was able to arrange a car to take her to the airport, and maybe it could also take her to and from get off work. It would only last for about 10 days, not long term. But after hearing this, he was dissatisfied with her pretentiousness. "My foot is injured, so I'm just recuperating at home. Why do I still go to work? I'm still in the internship period. It's not a good idea to take too many days off. It may affect my becoming a full-time employee." His dark eyes looked at her deeply. "You know that AK Bank merged with OCL, right?" She was startled, not understanding why he changed the subject, but nodded, "Yes, I know. AK Bank will not mistreat employees, nor will interns. If you are sick or injured, you can take leave when you need to." She looked at him, not knowing how to explain her worries to him, or whether she should say it. Under normal circumstances, the employer will not mistreat employees, but it is inevitable that some grassroots leaders will give employees shoes to wear. Especially for interns, if their immediate superiors are dissatisfied and just pick a problem, it will affect their chances of becoming a regular employee. She has been working for nearly a year and has seen many such things. Moreover, the branch where she works is a mess, and the business is very busy. If she takes a day or 2 off, her substitute colleagues will tolerate it. If one person has to do the work of 2 people for several days in a row, they will be very angry. If you work for an intern, your level of anger will be even higher. The boss will also think that this intern is squeamish and can't stand hardship, and will seriously consider whether to make him a full-time employee. Xin Lingfeng is the big boss at the group headquarters and does not understand the difficulties of grassroots employees. Shuzhen sighed secretly and said to him, "The sprained foot is not a big deal, it's just inconvenient to move around, but you can still go to work. Our branch is very busy, and even if there is only one person missing, the pressure will be great." After a pause, "I am an intern, and I need to perform better than a regular worker in order to successfully become a regular employee. If the property management company cannot arrange a pickup, I can ask my friends to pick me up." Xin Lingfeng's eyes were scrutinizing. "You always emphasize that you are an intern. Do you want me to help you become a regular employee?" Shuzhen didn't expect that he would have such thoughts and say such words. She was speechless for a moment and looked at him blankly. He looked serious. She suddenly felt embarrassed and her face felt a little hot. He actually misunderstood what she meant. "That's not what I meant." Her voice was a bit high, and she looked at him seriously and firmly. "I can solemnly tell you now that you don't need to help me become a regular employee at all. I can become a regular employee by my own ability. If I can't become a regular employee, it's because I'm not capable enough." Xin Lingfeng was surprised that she had such an excited reaction, but he kept his emotions to himself and glanced at her lightly. "That's good." Then he continued to eat noodles. Shuzhen felt wronged and angry. It was obvious that Xin Lingfeng had a very bad opinion of her. He felt that she had a purpose in getting close to Mr. Shen and marrying him. She was a profit-seeking woman. She had no appetite anymore, but she still forced herself to finish the noodles. She knows one thing very well: don't struggle with your body. No matter how bad your mood is, you must eat well and sleep well. A good body is the capital for a good life. The restaurant was very quiet and the atmosphere was a bit solemn. Shen Lingfeng finished eating the noodles and stood up. Seeing that he had finished eating the noodles, Shuzhen instinctively said, "Is this noodles okay?" "Not bad, thank you." He must admit that her craftsmanship is indeed very good. He took the dishes to the sink. She glanced at him, a little angry. "I cooked the noodles, you can wash the bowls." She ate the last bit of noodles, put down her chopsticks, and then stood up. "My feet are inconvenient, please take it away." Shen Lingfeng saw her moving out of the restaurant with some difficulty and smiled disapprovingly. He washed the dishes and pots, and cleaned the stove. He is not a pampered rich man. When he was studying abroad, he had learned to be independent. Housework is not difficult. As long as you are not a fool, you can do it. It just depends on whether you are willing to do it or not. Some people are not stupid, but lazy. Shuzhen finally entered her bedroom. After thinking about it, she decided not to ask for leave and asked Lin Jing to take her to An from get off work. She was about to call Lin Jing when she suddenly heard a knock on the door and turned to look over. The door was not closed, and Shen Lingfeng stood at the door. "I told the housekeeper that starting tomorrow, she will drive you to An from get off work in a car arranged by the property management. Since she wants to show herself to be a good hard-working employee, then he will help her show it. If he didn't want to expose her relationship with him, he could ask his driver to pick her up. This is her business card. Please contact her for the pickup time." He walked into the room and handed her the business card in his hand. Shuzhen was surprised, but still took the business card. "Thank you." She is not a hypocritical person. As long as it does not violate her principles or trample on her bottom line, he is willing to provide help and she accepts it calmly. What's more, as his wife, she lives here and has to do a lot of cooking, laundry and cleaning, and she should also enjoy the services provided by the property. If you have anything to say to the housekeeper, she will solve it if she can. Shen Lingfeng had no expression on his face and his tone was indifferent, as if he was discussing life problems with his roommates who rented the same house. Then, he turned around and left. Just because he doesn't have a good impression of her doesn't mean he wants to be a bad person and make her life difficult. Moreover, she had sprained her ankle because she gave him her ID card. Although he didn't show it, he actually felt guilty inside. Chapter 9. Madam and Kim Simon have been in love. Shuzhen looked at the business card. The housekeeper's name was Li Xiaoqin. It seemed that she was a woman. She dialed the mobile phone number on the business card and heard a female voice. She and Li Xiaoqin had set a time to pick her up and off work every day. Li Xiaoqin was respectful to her and always called her madam. Just as she was about to hang up the phone, she suddenly thought of a question and asked the housekeeper. "Sister Qin, can you buy me a pair of crutches?" "Madam, I can help you buy one. If you need it now, you can also ask the property management company to send one over." "Is there a cane at the property?" Shuzhen was surprised. The services provided by the properties in this luxury community are too comprehensive. Yes, the properties here will consider all aspects of the service range. "You don't need to buy it, I'll ask the property manager to send one over. She only needs it temporarily for a few days. Since the property has it, she doesn't need to spend money to buy it." So after ending the call with the housekeeper, she called the property management service number. As soon as she made the request, the property management said it would be delivered immediately. 10 minutes later, the doorbell rang. She guessed that someone from the property management company had arrived, so she quickly stood up on the back of her chair and jumped out of the room on one foot. On the corridor, Shen Lingfeng had already come out of the study and was about to open the door. He saw her jumping out of the bedroom in a hurry and wanted to frown, indifferently. "Your feet are inconvenient, why rush to open the door?" Shuzhen explained, "I just called the property manager to send a crutch. It should be someone from the property manager." He glanced at her, then glanced at her feet, and went to open the door without saying anything. Shuzhen stood with one foot at the door of the bedroom, holding onto the door frame, and heard Shen Lingfeng open the door. The voice of the property management staff outside the door could not be heard clearly, but at last I heard Shen Lingfeng say, "Thank you," and then the door closed. Shen Lingfeng came back with a crutch in his hand and handed it to Shuzhen. Shuzhen took it and said, "Thank you. This pair of crutches is made of aluminum alloy and is quite light. It can be seen from the details that the craftsmanship is very good." She tried using it and it was very convenient and not uncomfortable at all. She entered the bedroom with a cane, and when she came out, she saw Shen Lingfeng still at the door, looking at her with no expression on his face. He just saw how she used it and whether she could use it. Seeing that she walked quite easily, he returned to his study without looking back. Zhen curled her lips at his back. This man has a cold face and his words are harsh, but he is not a ruthless person in nature. It is not difficult to treat him with respect and spend the rest of the year politely. She went back to the bedroom on crutches, went into the bathroom and took a shower. Coming out of the bathroom, she couldn't help but sigh that it was really much more convenient to have a cane. Because she had to get up early to go to work tomorrow, she read for a while and then went to bed. It was already 10 o'clock at night, and Shen Lingfeng was still awake. He was video chatting with his cousin Chen Lei in New York in the study. His cousin is a computer technology talent, and he hopes that she can return to China to work for Shen. He offered a very high salary, but Chen Lei still shook her head. I don't want to return to China yet, but I can introduce you to a person. His technology is top-notch. Many big foreign companies are rushing to get it, but he wants to return to China. The salary you offer him must be the same as the salary you give me. He knows that his cousin is a very confident and proud person. To be recognized and praised by her, he must be very good. Okay, tell me. He is my junior fellow student, his name is Jin Simon. He has just received his master's degree and will return to China soon. If you are interested in recruiting him, hurry up. I heard that companies in China are already contacting him. When Shen Lingfeng heard this name, he felt like he had heard or seen it somewhere, so while listening to Chen Lei's introduction, he sent a WeChat message to his assistant. Do you know Jin Simon? A few minutes later, Yang Zhuming replied, Boss, Simon Jin is my wife's neighbor and a senior in high school. He went to study abroad after graduating from undergraduate degree. The Jin family and my wife's natal family live in the same unit building in the same community, facing each other. Yang Zhuming also saw a piece of sensitive information in the information, and deliberately left it until the end. People in the community said that his wife and he often went to and from school together, saying that they were a golden couple. Shen Lingfeng read the assistant's reply and was stunned. He didn't know whether to understand whether it was a coincidence or fate. But when I thought about it, Zhen had already married him. It could only be said to be a coincidence, not a fate between her and a high school senior and neighbor. In the video, Chen Lei saw him staring at the phone and not answering her questions, so she called him. Ling Feng. Shen Lingfeng came back to his senses, looked up at the video, and said, How about it, do you need me to contact Simon Jin? Shen Lingfeng's eyes darkened. He is a person who distinguishes between public and private affairs. No matter what relationship Jin Simon had with his wife before, since he is a talent, he must recruit her. What's more, he still doesn't think that Zhen is his real wife, in name only. Even the name hasn't been made public yet. Cousin, please contact him as soon as possible. As long as he doesn't do anything illegal, Mrs. Shen will definitely want him, and the treatment will be the same as what I gave you. After finishing the video with his cousin, Shen Lingfeng left the study and planned to go back to the bedroom to rest. On the corridor, he looked at Zhen's bedroom. There was no light coming out of the crack in the door. She seemed to have fallen asleep. After thinking about it, he sent a WeChat message to Yang Zhuming, Madam, have you ever been in love with Simon Jin? He walked into the bedroom and closed the door when he received a reply from Yang Zhuming, probably not. The survey data only stated that they were neighbors and often went to and from school together. People in the community should have teased her about the golden boy and girl. After reading this message, Shen Lingfeng smiled to himself and threw his phone on the bedside table. Who she had been in love with before was none of his business. She is his wife in name now. Just don't get involved with other men or cuckold him. At 6 o'clock the next morning, Zhen's biological clock woke her up. Since there was a car to pick her up, she originally set the alarm clock for 6:30. When she woke up, she couldn't go back to sleep. She got up, washed up, and then went to the restaurant to make breakfast. Shen Lingfeng's door was still closed, so he probably didn't get up. She didn't ask him what time he got up last night. Anyway, he got up later than her, so she also made his breakfast by the way. But she forgot to ask him if he didn't eat boiled eggs, should he eat poached eggs, scrambled eggs, or something else, so she sent a WeChat message to ask Uncle Zhang. Good morning, Uncle Zhang. Did Shen Lingfeng eat poached eggs or scrambled eggs? When she entered the text, she instinctively typed the words, Mr. Shen. She suddenly realized that this would make Uncle Zhang feel very alienated. She might tell Mr. Shen that the couple got along like strangers, so she immediately changed her words. Uncle Zhang is the housekeeper and always gets up early. He quickly replied, Master Feng can eat poached eggs or scrambled eggs, but not boiled eggs. He has always disliked boiled eggs as tasteless since he was a child. Sure enough. Shuzhen replied, Okay, I understand. Chapter 10 Your dear bamboo horse is coming back. She put down her phone and suddenly thought, would Uncle Zhang think she was strange? Why didn't she ask Shen Lingfeng instead of asking him on WeChat even though they lived together? She shook her head and stopped thinking so much. He took out 2 cups of milk from the refrigerator and heated it up, then fried 2 poached eggs and toasted for slices of toast. She helped herself to a glass of milk, a poached egg and a piece of toast. She never eats much, so she feels full this way. After all, she sits at the counter and works, doesn't get much exercise, and doesn't consume many calories. The appointment with Sister Qin was at 7:30, but it was not yet 7 o'clock when Shuzhen finished breakfast, so she sat in the restaurant and browsed social platforms to pass the time. She saw Jin Simon posted a message on WeChat Moments, saying that he was going to return to China. Many friends and classmates she knew had commented on him, welcoming him back to China. So she also commented to him, Welcome back to China. Lin Jing also commented to him, Senior, bring me and Zhen the chocolates you gave us last time. Several people below her comment asked what kind of chocolate it was and why they had it but they didn't. Lin Jing replied, Can you compare to the relationship between the principal and my Zhen? It would be nice to give you a candy made in the United States. Jin Simon replied to Lin Jing, Don't worry, I've already bought it. Shuzhen looked at everyone's comments and smiled. She was very happy that the senior who took care of her like a big brother was going to return to China after completing her studies, and she would be able to see each other more often in the future. She quit WeChat and planned to check out other social platforms. At this time, Lin Jing sent a WeChat message. She checked in and saw that it was a voice message, so she clicked play. Zhen, your dear bamboo horse is coming back. Will he be heartbroken when he finds out that you are married? After listening to this voice, she knew that Lin Jing was teasing and smiled. Just as she was about to reply to Lin Jing, she heard movement at the door of the restaurant, so she looked up. Shen Lingfeng came at some point, standing tall and straight at the door of the restaurant, wearing a white shirt, black trousers, and the collar and cuffs of the shirt were loose. But he looked at her with a deep and heavy gaze, as if he was angry about getting out of bed, and he didn't dissipate for a while. But she also felt that he heard the voice and became angry. Then I thought about it, he didn't regard her as his real wife at all, how could he be angry because of such a sentence? So she opened her mouth to explain, but she changed it to something else. Good morning, I made you a breakfast by the way. Shen Lingfeng seemed to utter, from deep in his throat, then walked to the dining table and sat down, picked up the milk and drank it. Shuzhen looked at the time and saw that it was almost 7:30, so she stood up and said, I'm going to work first. She walked out of the restaurant quickly. She didn't know that Shen Lingfeng was watching her back until she completely disappeared outside the restaurant. It was such a coincidence that as soon as he walked to the restaurant, he heard the voice and was stunned. Dear bamboo horse and heartbroken, these words have profound meaning no matter how you think of them, as if they had a relationship. It's impossible to say that he's not angry. No matter what, he can't ignore that she's married to him. He will definitely be unhappy hearing those words, so his face doesn't look good. Seeing her leave without any explanation, he felt even more unhappy, and even sneered in his heart. It doesn't matter if she is a childhood sweetheart, or if she is heartbroken, in the end, what Shuzhen wants is a rich man who can help her pay off her huge debt and let her live in a mansion. While eating the breakfast she made, he silently criticized her conduct. Shuzhen didn't take that voice seriously at all, because Lin Jing often made such jokes with her. She was used to it and quickly forgot about it. How could she have imagined that Shen Lingfeng would think so badly of her because of this? After going downstairs and walking out of the unit building, Sister Qin was already waiting outside in her car. She had obviously arrived early. Sister Qin looks to be about 40 years old. Her long hair is tied back into a bun. She is wearing a grey suit. She looks dignified and professional, with gentle eyes. Madam, good morning. Sister Qin, good morning. Have you had breakfast? Have eaten. Sister Qin helped Shuzhen get into the back seat and then closed the door. She returned to the driver's seat and asked if she could leave. Shuzhen said she could leave. Although Sister Qin called her madam, she was kind and gentle, neither humble nor overbearing, which made her relieved. She is really afraid of being treated respectfully like someone, which would make her very uncomfortable. Sister Qin's car drove very steadily. Although Shuzhen didn't know how to drive, she intuitively knew that Sister Qin's driving skills were good, as if she had been driving for many years. But Shuzhen would not disturb her by talking to her, so she took out her mobile phone and started browsing moments again. Then she saw her stepfather Wen Yong posted a photo last night. The background seemed to be a bar. He was hugging women on the left and right. They were women with heavy makeup and scantily clad clothes. There were wine bottles and glasses on the coffee table in front of her. She would see such unsightly photos in her stepfather's circle of friends from time to time, which made her angry and felt sorry for her mother. Her mother must have seen it too, and she didn't know how sad she would be. But her mother was unwilling to leave Wan Yong and could only endure the pain. If Shuzhen didn't need to know about her stepfather's movements or contact him sometimes, she would have blocked his WeChat account. She was in a bad mood and logged out of WeChat. She stared at the crowds of people outside the car window in a daze for a while, and finally sent a WeChat message to her mother. "Mom, good morning. I was busy over the weekend and didn't see you. What have you been doing these 2 days?" Her mother always gets up early in the morning, so she should be able to see the WeChat message she sent at this time. However, when she arrived at the branch, her mother still did not reply to her WeChat message. The car stopped in front of Lanqian branch. She opened the car door herself and moved out of the car without waiting for Sister Qin to come to help her. "Sister Qin, you don't have to get out of the car, I can do it myself." She has been accustomed to being self-reliant since she was a child, and instinctively feels that she does not need help from others for such small things. But how could Sister Qin let the boss's wife, who had inconvenient legs and feet, get out of the car by herself? She quickly got out of the car and came to help her. After getting out of the car, since there were steps in front of the bank, Sister Qin helped Shuzhen go up first and then left. It was just after 8 o'clock at this time. Only the security guard came to open the door, and the bank employees had not yet come. The security guard was surprised to see Shuzhen coming to work with a cane, and praised her for being too dedicated. She said, "I'm still an intern," and the security guard nodded in understanding, knowing that she was worried that taking too long a leave of absence would affect her ability to become a full-time employee. She walked into the private counter on crutches, and after a while, other people came one after another. Yang Hui saw her bringing a cane, and when she understood the situation, her eyes widened. "You're trying too hard." Shuzhen smiled disapprovingly. "It's just a sprained foot, why is it so desperate? How did you get here? Or took the subway?" "No, someone drove me here," Shuzhen said perfunctorily. "You work so hard. If I don't change your job, it will be unjust." Shuzhen was amused by Yang Hui's exaggerated solemn expression and smiled, but said nothing more. Chapter 11. Dad wants to divorce Mom. After opening for business, Shuzhen went into work and no longer noticed that her mother did not reply to her WeChat message. As get-off work time approached in the afternoon, when Xinghua suddenly appeared in front of the personal counter, Shuzhen. His voice was so loud that Shuzhen, who was sitting in the background reviewing the summons, heard it clearly and recognized the voice that seemed to be that of her brother. She was startled and turned to look outside the counter. Wang Xinghua had a sullen face, as if he was here to collect a debt. When he saw Shuzhen turning around, he waved to her. "Come out for a moment." Shuzhen quickly stood up and approached the counter. She faced Wang Xinghua outside the bulletproof glass with a calm face and a calm voice. "I'm working." Wang Xinghua immediately looked impatient. "It's almost time to get off work. Will you die if you come out?" His voice was very loud, and it seemed that he was worried that she couldn't hear clearly through the glass. In fact, she knew that he always spoke at the top of his voice, especially to her and her mother, and he was even more stern, as if he was talking to a debtor. Of colleagues and customers all gave me "what happened" looks. Sometimes Shuzhen would think that she and her mother should have owed Wang Yong and Wang Xinghua, father and son, in their previous life, so they were reincarnated as a family with them in this life and were tortured by them. It was only 5 or 6 minutes before the end of the day at 12 o'clock, and there were no customers in front of the private counter. Shuzhen looked at Yang Hui with an apologetic look. "Sorry, I'm going out for a while." She knew very well that if she didn't go out to meet Wang Xinghua and hear what trouble he was going to cause her, he would definitely cause a scene in the business hall. Yang Hui nodded in understanding. It's okay, you can go out. She knew a little about Shuzhen, her younger brother. Every time she came to see Shuzhen, she always looked like he was here to make trouble. She was really worried that one day he would really make trouble. Shuzhen walked out of the private counter on crutches. Seeing this, Wang Xinghua was surprised. What's wrong with your feet? My feet are sprained. Then she gave Wang Xinghua a look and asked him to follow her to the VIP reception room. It was almost getting off work at this time and there was no one inside. Sitting down on the sofa, she asked, "What's the matter?" As she said that, she looked him over. He was wearing a t-shirt, casual pants, and casual shoes. Although she couldn't tell, based on her understanding of him, she must be from some expensive fashion brand. Her brother is 2 years younger than her. He is tall and has most of his facial features inherited from her mother. He is good looking, but his slender eyes are inherited from her stepfather, and even his eyes are inherited from her, exuding an aura of hostility. Wang Xinghua sat down on the single sofa, with his arms and legs spread wide open. He looked very awkward and looked very much like the arrogant posture of the evil gangster in the movie. He looked at her gloomily. Why do you always treat me like this? Shuzhen was angry. What's your attitude towards me? Wang Xinghua waved his hand impatiently. Forget it, we are not the same father anyway, so we are not compatible by nature. Shuzhen frowned after hearing this. He thinks with this kind of logic, no wonder he always doesn't take the right path. Wang Xinghua, does this have anything to do with whether he is a father? Wang Xinghua tilted his mouth, with a mocking look in his slender eyes. Why doesn't it matter? If you and I had the same father, would you do this to me? What did I do to you? Did I treat you badly? I helped you pay off millions of dollars in debt. Am I treating you badly? Wang Xinghua slapped the armrest of the sofa hard and said viciously, so what if you helped me pay off my debt? You look down on me at all. You helped me pay off my debt because of my mother. If it weren't for my mother, you wouldn't have helped me pay off my debt at all. Shuzhen was very glad that she had the foresight to close the door when she came in. Otherwise, if he was seen like this, his colleagues would have information to gossip about. She sneered, you're right, I did help you pay off your debt because of my mother, so you should be glad that you and I were born to the same mother. So are you here today to question why I help you pay off your debt? Wang Xinghua looked at her sideways. Have you got a boyfriend? Hearing this, Shuzhen's heart skipped a beat, thinking that he saw her when she was with Xin Lingfeng. But think about it, until now, except for the day when she received the certificate, she and Xin Lingfeng had never appeared in public together. When and where did Wang Xinghua see Xin Lingfeng? No matter what, she decided to deny it first. I don't have a boyfriend. Why do you ask? Then why did you leave home and live outside? Tell the truth, did you have a boyfriend and now live with your boyfriend? After hearing his words, Shuzhen breathed a sigh of relief. It turns out that he was just guessing randomly. She said calmly, I really don't have a boyfriend. I live in a bank dormitory now. A sarcastic smile appeared on Wang Xinghua's lips. Are you afraid that I will trouble your boyfriend? Shuzhen became a little annoyed and said with a straight face, if I say no, I won't. Just leave if you have nothing to do. I still have to work. As she spoke, she supported the coffee table in front of her with her hands and stood up on one foot. It's time to get off work now. You forced me out before I finished my morning work. Shuzhen leaned on crutches and walked to the door, planning to open the door. Don't leave, I have something important to tell you. If you have anything to say, tell me quickly. Shuzhen turned around and glared at him with a displeased face. Wang Xinghua said calmly, Dad wants to divorce Mom. Shuzhen was immediately startled by the unexpected words. Your dad wants to divorce my mom. Wang Xinghua looked up at her with a sinister look in his eyes. Your dad? Har, that's right. Although he has raised you for more than 20 years, you still don't recognize him as your dad. Shuzhen didn't want to argue with him about who raised her. Even he, Wang Yong's biological son, would not have grown up without his mother, but he had no idea how to be grateful for his mother's love and care. Why did he file for divorce, she asked. Over the years, Wang Yong would curse, beat, and threaten her mother, but he never filed for divorce because her mother was of great use. Washing, cooking, cleaning, having and raising children, he can also make money to support the family, and when he, a grown man, has no money to spend, he can reach out to her for something, and even when he is in a bad mood, he can even beat her to vent his anger. Shuzhen thought she was the only one in the family who wanted her mother to divorce. What changed Wang Yong's mind? Wang Xinghua shrugged his shoulders, looking like he didn't care much. I don't know, Mom won't tell me. You can go back and ask. Then does Mom agree to the divorce? This was the question Shuzhen was most concerned about. She looked at Wang Xinghua intently, hoping to hear the answer she wanted. No, Mom didn't agree to the divorce, so Dad beat her again. Hearing these words, Shuzhen tightened her grip on the crutches, and a surge of anger surged out. Wang Xinghua said that her mother was beaten by his father, which was an understatement. She stared at him hard. Wang Xinghua, you are still not a human being. She is also your biological mother. Chapter 12. He wants me to leave the house. Wang Xinghua glared at Shuzhen. What can I do? Are you asking me to fight back for my mother? Why not? You are an adult, shouldn't you protect your mother? But I think you are cowardly. After saying that, Shuzhen sneered. Wang Xinghua saw her expression of contempt for him, and he was furious. He slapped the armrest of the sofa hard. Shuzhen, if it was your biological father, would you ask me to beat him? It is because he is not your biological father that you are so unscrupulous. If Mom listened to Dad, she would not be beaten. Shuzhen gritted her teeth to hold back her anger and told herself not to quarrel with him at work. If he was loud, she would also be loud, then he would explode and she might lose this job. You mean you also want my mom and your dad to divorce? Wang Xinghua was stunned. Of course not. Who would want their parents to divorce? Shuzhen, you want them to divorce because he is not your biological father. Didn't you just say that my mom should listen to your dad? Wang Xinghua was speechless for a moment. He stood up suddenly. I came here to tell you this. As he said that, he walked to the door, opened the door and left without looking back. Shuzhen stayed in the VIP room for a while, feeling very uncomfortable and worried about her mother's current situation. She sent a greeting WeChat message to her mother in the morning, but her mother has not replied yet. She can't help but worry that her mother may have been beaten seriously. She called her mother, but the reply was that the other party's phone was turned off, so she was even more worried. She planned to use her lunch break to go back to her mother's house. When she left the VIP room, her colleagues had all gone off work and the door was closed. Wang Xinghua should have left through the side door. The security guard who took over had already arrived and was having lunch. Knowing that she had sprained her ankle, he asked her if he wanted her to buy lunch. She shook her head and said no. She called a car, and the driver was very nice and helped her get on the back seat. Her parents' home was on the 3rd floor. Before she got married, she usually walked up the stairs as a form of exercise and was not very good at taking the elevator, but today she had to take the elevator with crutches. When she arrived at the door of her house, she took out the key from her bag and opened the door. The house was quiet, as if no one was home. She called Mom, and then walked towards her mother's bedroom with her crutches. When she was about to reach the bedroom door, she suddenly heard her mother's voice. Is it Xinghua? Her mother's voice was low and weak. Mom, it's me, Zhen. Zhen. The bedroom door was not closed, so Shuzhen went in directly. Her mother was lying on the bed, forcing her upper body to get up. Seeing her leaning on a cane, she was shocked. Zhen, what's wrong with you? It's okay, I just sprained my ankle. Mom, don't get up, just lie down. She looked at her mother's face, which was haggard and pale, and even her lips were bloodless. Her stepfather was very smart. He never hit her mother in the face or on the body, so outsiders could not tell from the surface that he beat his wife. And her mother never said anything, and endured the pain silently alone. Her mother still sat up, leaning against the headboard. The pain in her body made her weak. Why are you here? Shuzhen sat down beside the bed, with her crutches on the edge of the bed. When Xinghua went to the bank to find me and told me what happened. Mom lowered her eyes, a trace of pain flashed through her eyes. I'm fine. Mom's cowardly look of making a big deal out of a small matter made Shuzhen sad and angry. Let me see how bad the injury is. Have you been to the hospital? As she said that, she reached out to untie her mother's clothes to take a look. But her mother stopped her. It's really okay. Xinghua must have exaggerated what he said to you. In fact, your father was angry for a moment and accidentally touched me when he waved his hand. Shuzhen looked at her mother angrily, imagining that there must be a lot of bruises under her clothes, and there might even be wounds. She felt a prick in her heart just imagining it. She took a deep breath. Mom, since Wang Heng has proposed a divorce, do you want a divorce? Mom looked at her and shook her head without hesitation. Why? He tortures you every day, and he has already proposed it. Why don't you want a divorce? Shuzhen's voice could not help but rise. Although she guessed that her mother would give this answer, she was still very sad and angry. Seeing her mother with her eyes downcast and not speaking, Shuzhen became even angrier. Not only does he beat you, he also has a mistress outside and already has an illegitimate child. Mom, how long are you going to endure it? I'm grown up and can take care of you. Her mother suddenly sniffed a few times and choked. Zhen, Mom can't divorce. His request is too much. I can't divorce. Shuzhen was stunned when she heard it. Mom's words seemed to mean that she was not unwilling to divorce, but that she could not accept the divorce conditions proposed by Wang Heng. What's the request? He wants me to leave the house with nothing. All the property, this house, and the tea house, belong to him. After saying that, her mother covered her face and cried sadly. Shuzhen didn't expect Wang Heng to be so shameless, and she was so angry that she couldn't speak for a while. This house was bought the year her mother married her stepfather. Her mother used her savings and grandfather's help to pay half of the house price, and the other half was a bank loan, which was slowly paid off with her mother's salary and the income from the tea house. The tea house was also opened the year they got married. Her mother invested in it, so she has half of the shares. Now Wang Heng actually wants to take it all away and leave nothing for her mother. Listening to her mother crying, Shuzhen covered her eyes with one hand to calm herself down. She thought for a while and looked at her mother. Mom, we don't want the house and the tea house anymore, as long as we can get a divorce. I will support you in the future. Hearing her words, her mother stopped crying, took a tissue from the bedside table to wipe her face, and then shook her head at her with a firm face. No, you must not let him take the house and the tea house, otherwise you and Xinghua will have nothing. He actually wants to leave these to his illegitimate son, and I will never give them to him. Shuzhen patiently persuaded, Mom, these are all external things, as long as you can leave him, it will be the best ending. Her mother didn't speak, but shook her head. If you don't agree to divorce, he will beat you again. However, she still shook her head. Then let's call the police. Her mother smiled bitterly. Will calling the police work? Shuzhen was silent. Her mother had called the police before, and her stepfather learned a lesson and kept saying that he had changed his ways, but he soon returned to his old ways and beat her mother again. She thought about it and felt that it was dangerous for her mother to stay in this house. She didn't know when Wang Heng would come back and beat her again. Mom, I'll rent a house outside and you move out first. Unexpectedly, her mother shook her head again. If I move out, he will immediately bring that woman and the illegitimate child back to live with him, and he will definitely not be able to drive them away. Shuzhen looked at her mother angrily and helplessly. Chapter 13. She couldn't stand this anger. Shuzhen couldn't persuade her mother, so she could only give up sadly and helplessly. She ordered takeout and ate with her mother. While eating, she asked her mother why she didn't reply to her WeChat, and then she knew that her mother's phone was out of battery, but her mother didn't notice. Thinking of her mother being beaten by her stepfather, isolated and helpless, lying in bed alone, and not daring to tell her, and Wang Xinghua, the son, was useless, her heart ached. But her mother was an adult. How could she force her mother to do something she didn't want to do? She could only wait for her mother to figure it out herself. After lunch, she went back to the bank to work. Before leaving, she told her mother to contact her if she had anything. Even after leaving the door, she turned back and told her mother that she might as well come back and live for a while, but her mother said, "You don't have to come back. He left and won't come back for a long time." On their way back to the bank, in the car, Shuzhen sent a WeChat message to her brother, Wang Xinghua, "If you still have some humanity, then stay at home with your mother. If your father beats her again, you protect her." Wang Xinghua replied when she returned to the bank, "Shuzhen, if you have some humanity, then why don't you stay at home with your mother and move out?" Shuzhen, so you think a woman like me can withstand the mighty fist of a tall and strong man? If I were here, I would definitely call the police to arrest your father. Do you want to see this scene? Wang Xinghua didn't send any WeChat messages for the whole afternoon. That afternoon, Shen Lingfeng talked with Jin Simon in New York via video for more than an hour. Shen Lingfeng's cousin Chen Lei told Jin Simon that Shen's intended to hire him, and he agreed without hesitation. Shen's was the best target company for Jin Simon to return to China, and now they took the initiative to express their intention to hire him, which was a surprise to him. So soon, Chen Lei arranged this video interview. After understanding Jin Simon's experience and ability, Shen Lingfeng was very satisfied, and Jin Simon was already very satisfied with Shen's group, and now he was also satisfied with Shen Lingfeng as a boss, so the two sides decided to cooperate directly in the video. Shen hired Jin Simon as the director of the development department of Shen's technology company. Shen is currently acquiring a technology company in Xianqin. Shen Lingfeng hopes that Jin Simon can return to China as soon as possible to participate in the acquisition work. Jin Simon agreed to return to China in 2 days. After talking about the work, he should have said goodbye and hung up the video, but Shen Lingfeng suddenly had an idea. He looked at Jin Simon's young and handsome face, thinking about the voice message he heard in the restaurant at home this morning, and still felt a little bothered. Why do you want to return to China? Many people don't want to come back after going abroad. Jin Simon said frankly, I went abroad to study, and I plan to return to China after I finished my studies. Do you have a girlfriend in China? Shen Lingfeng further probed, his tone was light, as if he just wanted to chat. Unexpectedly, Jin Simon did not answer immediately, lowered his eyes, seemed to think about it, and then raised his eyes. No. Shen Lingfeng smiled and pretended to tease, seeing that you hesitated for a while, it seems that although you don't have a girlfriend, you have someone you like. Jin Simon smiled awkwardly and did not deny it. It would seem deliberate to continue talking about this topic, so Shen Lingfeng changed the topic and said that he would ask his assistant to arrange matters for Jin Simon's return to China, such as booking air tickets and accommodation, and the company would bear the expenses. Jin Simon was not polite and thanked him. Then the video was hung up. Yang Zhuming had been standing by the desk, participating in the entire video conversation. He was surprised to hear his boss suddenly ask Jin Simon about his relationship. His boss always kept a clear distinction between public and private affairs, and never cared about the private lives of employees, not to mention an employee who had not yet joined the company. It seemed that the boss was quite concerned about the relationship between Jin Simon and his wife. So he was cautious. Boss, do you really want to hire Jin Simon? Shen Lingfeng looked up at him and said coldly, what, is there a problem? No, no problem. Then I'll go book a plane ticket now. Hearing the boss's Yang Zhuming left the office immediately. Shen Lingfeng rubbed his forehead and smiled self-deprecatingly. He could guess what the assistant was thinking, and must have thought that he would mind the relationship between Jin Simon and Xu Zhen. He shouldn't have asked Jin Simon about his relationship, but he asked for some reason. It was actually a test. Official business is official business, private business is private business. Jin Simon is indeed a talent, and he cannot miss it. After becoming his subordinate, he must be careful not to let personal thoughts affect official business. After getting off work in the afternoon, sitting in the car, Xu Zhen was still a little worried about her mother and called her. Her mother answered quickly, Zhen, are you off work? Yes. Mom, is Wang Xinghua home? Yes, just got home. Are you looking for him? No, I just asked. Tell him not to run around and stay at home with you. Yes, he said he would go home and stay for a while. Hearing her mother's words, Xu Zhen felt a little relieved. She didn't expect Wang Xinghua to listen to her so much this time. In the past, he always ignored her words and even mocked her. It seems that his biological parents are going to divorce, which scared him. After returning to Qianhua Garden, Xu Zhen asked Sister Qin to drive the car to the entrance of the community supermarket. She had eaten all the vegetables in the refrigerator last night, and she planned to buy vegetables for a few days. Her feet were inconvenient, and she didn't want to go to the supermarket every day. Madam, do you need me to cook? Sister Qin asked. Xu Zhen was surprised, does your job also include cooking? Sister Qin nodded, yes, my job includes doing all their housework. Last week, the boss suddenly asked me to suspend my work and not come, but the salary will be paid as usual. Hearing these words, Xu Zhen probably understood. Shen Lingfeng should have asked the housekeeper not to come after marrying her. It seems that he planned to let her, as a wife, take on all the housework. If she didn't know about this, she would have done the housework naturally. After all, she had been doing it since she was a child and was used to it. The most important thing was that she felt that Shen Lingfeng was pampered and asked him to help, and she was worried that he would cause trouble for her. Of course, she longed for a husband who could share their housework with her, but things went against her wishes. She married a rich and noble son. Besides, she would probably get divorced in a year, so she would not force him to share the housework. Now she knew that Shen Lingfeng actually wanted to make things difficult for her. She was very angry, and she could not bear this anger. She decided to teach Shen Lingfeng a lesson, and she would talk to him tonight about dividing the housework equally. With this plan, she said to Sister Qin, since he told you not to come, then you should listen to him and don't have to come. You just need to be responsible for picking me up and dropping me off at get off work. Hearing this, Sister Qin did not think much about it, thinking that the boss and his wife were newlyweds, and they wanted to live in their own world and did not want to be disturbed. Although his wife's foot was injured, the boss should take good care of her. Chapter 14. Is she directing him to work? Zhen bought the groceries and went upstairs to get home at 6:30. She hurriedly cooked rice and stir-fried vegetables. A few minutes later, while she was washing rice, she heard the door open and guessed that Shen Lingfeng was back. When the footsteps got closer, she called out, "Shen Lingfeng, can you come here?" After a while, Shen Lingfeng appeared at the entrance of the restaurant. He was holding a briefcase in his right hand, a mobile phone in his left hand, and his suit jacket on his right arm. He looked at her and said calmly, "Is something wrong?" Zhen pointed to the vegetables on the cooking table and said, "Wash the vegetables." Shen Lingfeng was stunned for a moment, then his eyebrows tightened slightly and he was speechless for a moment. Is she directing him to do something? Seeing his unhappy look, Zhen raised her eyebrows slightly. "Shen Lingfeng, since you also have to eat, of course you have to share half of the work, right?" She emphasized the last word, right. Shen Lingfeng stared at her with deep eyes. Her beautiful face changed from the gentleness he was already familiar with, and became slightly more aggressive, as if she was provoking him or dissatisfied with him. What happened? Or is there a plan? Seeing his silence, she twitched the corner of her mouth, and a hint of sneer flashed through her face. "Why, don't you want to?" "If I don't do it, will I have nothing to eat?" he asked. Zhen immediately replied without thinking, "Yes." Shen Lingfeng originally didn't agree with the idea that men should lead the outside world and women should lead the household. Especially when women also have jobs, they still have to do housework when they go home. This kind of statement is even more ridiculous. It was perfectly fine for him to share housework with his wife, but her attitude and tone made him a little unhappy, and he vaguely felt that she was planning something, which made him suspicious. So he deliberately said, "Shouldn't a wife cook?" Hearing this, Zhen frowned and said angrily, "There is no such should. The daughter-in-law of the Shen family has to cook for her husband." Zhen. She became more angry and stared at him intently. No wonder he asked the housekeeper to stop working. It turned out that he actually had such a big man mentality. It's a pity that he married a wife who has no thoughts of a little woman. Seeing him looking at her calmly, she smiled lightly. "The prenuptial agreement I signed did not include a clause that the Shen family's daughter-in-law should cook for her husband. My Zhen's husband has to share half of the work if he wants to eat." Shen Lingfeng knew what she said made sense, but he refused to compromise. "I give you 100,000 yuan a month for your household expenses, and you still have the nerve to ask me to work." Zhen almost laughed out loud, but fortunately she restrained herself. Otherwise, she really didn't know what his temper was like, and would she have thought she was laughing at him and got angry. Although she did laugh at him. To cover up, she put down the rice basin in her hand, raised her eyes to look at him, calmly. "I didn't ask you to provide so much household income, but you have already given it. If you can't use it up, save it and return it to you in the future. I have income, and I will share half of the household expenses." After saying that, she raised her eyebrows slightly. The meaning was obvious. "Since I share half of the household expenses, what reason do you have for not sharing half of the housework?" Shen Lingfeng was speechless when he saw her slightly provocative eyes. If he wanted to continue his refutation, he would have to say something that even he himself found too ridiculous. For example, those comments in the old days about not treating women as human beings. Helpless, he compromised, "Okay, why don't I just wash the dishes?" But his cold and indifferent expression did not change. He walked to the dining table silently, put his briefcase and suit jacket on the chair, put his mobile phone on the dining table, then walked to the kitchen table and started washing vegetables. Seeing this, although Zhen was surprised that the pampered CEO surrendered so easily, she secretly sarcastically said, "It's not just about washing dishes." She picked up the washed rice and put it into the rice cooker to cook. While Shen Lingfeng was washing vegetables, he looked at her from the corner of his eye and saw that she was having a hard time moving, so he wanted to go over and help her. But he shouted to himself in his heart, "Don't be soft-hearted, don't be soft-hearted, she just has difficulty moving, and there is no pain." Maybe she asked him to work just to let him see how inconvenient she was to move around, to inspire him to feel compassion and hire help for her, so that she could live a pampered life as a noble lady. Of course his wife, Xinling Feng, can live a pampered life, but she is not a scheming woman like her who plans to marry him. Xu Zhen turned her back to Xinling Feng and was taking out beef and fresh fish from the bag and putting them on the plate. She had no idea that he would have such complicated and unbearable thoughts in his heart when she just asked him to wash the dishes. She pushed the fish to the edge of the tank and said, "Take care of the fish." Xinling Feng looked up at her with no expression or emotion. With the look on his face, if it were his employees, they would be frightened, but Xu Zhen remained unmoved. "You wash the vegetables and I cook, or I wash the vegetables and you cook, you choose." Xinling Feng sneered, "I've already washed it, haven't I?" Xu Zhen was sure that he couldn't cook, so she asked him to wash the dishes at first, but since he looked unhappy, she didn't take it seriously. "If you like cooking, you can do it starting tomorrow and I'll wash it." Xinling Feng lowered his head and continued washing vegetables. "Xu Zhen, you know that I am very busy at work and emergencies often happen. It is impossible for me to go home on time every day to cook for you." Xu Zhen curled her lips, "It's not just for me to eat, it's for both of us. If you are busy with work and can't go home on time to cook, then I can cook it for myself. I can't let yourself go hungry." Xinling Feng glanced at her and said coldly, "You are really unyielding and argue with reason." "Of course." As she spoke, she picked up the plate with beef, walked to the other side of the cooking table with a cane, and cut the beef into slices. A pound of beef was cut into slices, and his deep and pleasant voice came from Xinling Feng's side, "It's washed." When Xu Zhen heard this, she was very surprised. She turned around and saw that the vegetables had been washed and put in the drain basket. The fresh fish had been broken open and its internal organs had been taken out. On the surface, it seemed that he had indeed taken care of everything, but the speed made her feel that he was not unfamiliar with it, as if he had done it often. "Everything is washed?" she questioned. "You'll know it yourself if you see it." With that said, he left the kitchen counter and walked to the dining table to get his briefcase, suit jacket and mobile phone. "Call me when the meal is ready." Xu Zhen watched his back disappear, and immediately walked to the sink on the cooking table. After a closer look, it turned out that the vegetables and fish were all washed. She murmured to herself, "I'm not stupid, I can do it pretty well the first time." Xinling Feng is a wealthy CEO who knows how to do housework. Such thoughts will not appear in her mind. If he heard what she said, he would definitely sneer and laugh at her. Since she has the idea that husband and wife should share housework, why does she still have typical stereotypes? Chapter 15. Do you want to assign housework? Xinling Feng went into the bedroom and changed into a set of casual clothes, then went to the study room, picked up the half-read book on the desk, and sat on the single sofa to continue reading. After reading a few lines, the phone on the coffee table rang with a WeChat notification. He picked up his phone and clicked on WeChat. It was his cousin Chen Lei. "Ling Feng, why did you ask Jin Simon if he had a girlfriend?" It seemed that Kim Simon thought it was strange for him to ask such a question, so he told his cousin. He replied, "Can't you ask?" "Chen Lei, it's not that I can't ask, it's just that it's inexplicable." "Don't you think so?" Xinling Feng, just chatting. "Chen Lei, tell the truth, do you have any scruples if he has a girlfriend or not? He is very capable, but you cannot exploit others like a profit-seeking capitalist." Xinling Feng, he is quite sensitive to this issue and has told you everything. Chen Lei, Simon is very satisfied with Mr. Shen and doesn't he want to lose this job? He does have a girl he likes in China, and the main reason for returning home is for her. After reading this message, Xinling Feng suddenly felt a subtle emotion that was indescribable. For a long time, he couldn't digest the emotion, so he had to click on the screen to type text event. "You know him quite well. You even know such private things as his secret crush." "Chen Lei, how did you know it was his crush?" Xinling Feng, he said he doesn't he have a girlfriend, so that means he has a secret love. "Chen Lei, what logic? No wonder she is still single and knows nothing about the relationship between men and women. The old man always asks me to introduce you to girlfriends. I think you are like a block of ice. I don't want to introduce girls to you and get frozen. I can't even imagine when or what day you will get married. Which good woman would be willing to marry you?" Xinling Feng's cousin has always had a vicious tongue, and he is used to it. But now when he saw her words, he just wanted to laugh sarcastically. He didn't know if there was a good woman willing to marry him, but there were already women who had planned to marry him in every possible way. If his cousin knew that he had a wife, I don't know what her reaction would be. His cousin has been abroad for many years and likes to express her emotions by surprise. He waited for a moment and saw that Chen Lei stopped sending scolding words, and then replied, "Don't worry about my marriage, cousin. Chen Lei, who cares about you? Give me an accurate word." Jin Simon returned to China to serve as the director of the development department of Shen Technology Company. There will definitely be no changes, right? Xinling Feng, since I said I wanted him, I absolutely want him. Chen Lei, you will never fire him because of his personal feelings. At this time, Shuzhen appeared at the door of the study. It's time to eat. Xinling Feng was talking to Chen Lei about Jin Simon when he suddenly saw Shuzhen and felt strange for no reason. But he said calmly, "I know." Then she replied to Chen Lei, "Absolutely not." He put down his phone and walked out of the study to the dining room. The phone rang, and Chen Lei replied, "I'll take a screenshot as proof, so that you won't have trouble with Simon someday. Capitalists cannot be trusted. They are best at finding minor problems to torment their employees." Shuzhen made fried beef with green pepper, steamed fish and stir-fried vegetables, but did not cook soup because she is not a soup drinker every day. Although there were only 3 dishes, the portion was quite large. She believed that Xinling Feng should be able to eat enough no matter how big his appetite was. Xinling Feng walked into the restaurant. Just by the smell of the food on the table, he couldn't help but feel that it might be delicious. Looking at the arrangement of bowls, chopsticks and plates on the dining table, I was very satisfied to see that she had prepared serving chopsticks and a plate for each person. Shuzhen served rice for herself, but not for him. He had to serve it himself, but he didn't get angry. He just felt that she was being petty. He is not very picky about food, but he likes beef very much. He took the first bite of beef. It was tender and tasted good. He was very satisfied. But he remained calm and went on to taste other dishes. The taste is all good, and in terms of home cooking, it is no worse than the chef's. Shuzhen is confident in her craftsmanship. Not only is her family satisfied, but her friends who have eaten it also say it is delicious. She saw Xinling Feng's face was cold and he didn't speak, so she didn't care. Anyway, if he didn't express his opinion, she just assumed that he was satisfied. After eating a few mouthfuls of food, she raised her eyes and glanced at him, showing no emotion. "I want to talk to you about our sharing of housework. Should we talk now or after dinner?" Shuzhen asked this because she was used to chatting with her mother while eating, but she didn't know what the Shen family was like. The big family seemed to have all kinds of rules. Xinling Feng bit into a piece of beef and looked at her expressionlessly. He waited until the piece of beef was swallowed before speaking. "Are you going to assign chores?" Shuzhen said, There was no rejection on his face, and she secretly felt strange. She originally expected him to frown deeply, make a bad face, or even get angry. He calmly said, "Tell me about it." She curled her lips disapprovingly, "I can do all their housework." "So, you'd better tell me what you can do first." Hearing this, Xinling Feng raised his eyebrows slightly, hooked up the corners of his mouth, and leaned forward. "I can do all the housework too." Shuzhen paused while picking up food with her chopsticks, and looked at him intently, trying to judge whether he was telling the truth or not from his expression. Xinling Feng lowered his head and put the rice into his mouth, showing no expression to her. Shuzhen took what he said to be true and put a chopstick of vegetables into the plate in front of her. "Didn't you say you're busy at work? Then pick something that won't delay your work." Xinling Feng had food in his mouth at this time and said vaguely, "Everything will delay my work." After Shuzhen heard this, she immediately glared at him, "Put the dirty clothes in the washing machine at night and then dry them. It won't delay your work, right? Cleaning on the weekend won't delay your work, right?" Xinling Feng raised his eyes and looked at her, mockingly, "Since you know, then ask me if you can just distribute it." Shuzhen was a little annoyed by his attitude. She was speechless for a moment and just continued to stare at him. Does this man communicate with employees like this in the company? However, the employees worked for his salary and could tolerate his coldness and eccentricity, but she did not receive his salary, so she would not be angry with him. She said angrily, "Okay, I will allocate them according to my ideas, and you must execute them." However, Xinling Feng said again, "You tell me how you allocate it." Her tone couldn't be better. "Eat first, after dinner, I will make a list for you later. Shin Lingfeng put the last half of the fish into his plate and said lightly, yes. I've listed it and I'll look at it. I think it's reasonable and I'll definitely follow it. There was nothing wrong with what he said, but Shuzhen had an uneasy feeling that no matter how she distributed it, he would always find fault. Chapter 16. Your husband is so funny. All in all, she believed that Shin Lingfeng would find various reasons to refuse to do housework. But she had made up her mind to let him share their housework no matter what. The two of them ate in silence and stopped talking. Shuzhen always chewed her food carefully, so Shin Lingfeng was full but she hadn't finished yet. From the corner of her eye, she saw him getting up to leave. She quickly raised her eyes and said, "You have to wash the dishes." Shin Lingfeng turned to look at her. "I wash the dishes." Shuzhen looked up at him. "I'll wash and dry the clothes, that's all." He was silent and sat down to wait for her to finish her meal. There is a dishwasher, and the tableware is just put in the dishwasher, which is not a hard job. He was so bored that he could only watch her eating while sitting opposite. Seeing that she was moving slowly and chewing carefully, he blurted out, "Why do you eat like an old lady?" Shuzhen didn't react for a moment and raised her eyes to look at him. Seeing her stunned look, he chuckled. It was okay if he didn't smile, but she just thought he was bored, rolled her eyes inwardly and let it go. But in the end, he actually laughed, which made her annoyed, and her facial muscles tensed up. Everyone has their own way of eating. Do you make fun of people like this? After a pause, she added, "Would you like me to comment on the way you eat too?" Shin Lingfeng has never quarreled with a girl like this before, because the girls who have been close to him since childhood have always flattered him, and no one dared to joke with him. So he found it interesting and replied, "I'm just saying that you eat slowly, not that you are old. Why are you in a hurry? You have to apologize to all the old ladies in the world. Not all old ladies eat slowly." Now it was Shin Lingfeng's turn to react. Apologize to all the old ladies in the world? So serious? Seeing that her expression was serious and not joking, he smiled. "Okay, if you gather all the old ladies in the world together, I will definitely apologize sincerely." Shuzhen was speechless for a moment, too lazy to pay attention to him, and finished the last 2 bites of rice in the bowl. Shin Lingfeng watched her eating slowly. Her words about asking him to apologize to all the old ladies in the world echoed in his mind, and he couldn't help but smile. After she finished her meal, she glanced at him and saw the smile on his face. She felt that he was laughing at her for eating slowly, and she couldn't help but feel annoyed. It needs to be cleaned up, and it can't be done half-heartedly. After saying that, she left the restaurant without even looking at him. Shin Lingfeng sneered secretly in his heart while clearing the tableware. It had only been a few days, and my temper was no longer hidden. When the old man sees her, will he still call her a good girl? Shuzhen returned to her bedroom and really wanted to find someone to complain to, so she sent Lin Jing a WeChat message. "Can you imagine, my husband actually said that I eat like an old lady." At this time, Lin Jing had already had dinner and was sitting on the sofa in the living room watching TV. When she heard her phone ringing, she immediately picked it up. When she saw Shuzhen's message, she burst into laughter. "Your husband is so funny." Shuzhen looked at Lin Jing's reply and rolled her eyes. "Where's the humor? You should eat slowly when you eat. Chewing slowly is the best way to digest. Besides, slow eating is not just for old ladies. Many old ladies are not slow at eating. How can it be used as a metaphor?" "Lin Jing, then how do you answer him?" "Shuzhen, I asked him to apologize to all the old ladies in the world." Lin Jing immediately sent an expression that made her laugh out loud. "Oh, my dear, you are quite humorous too. You and your husband are absolutely right. Marry the right person." Shuzhen. She deeply felt that she had complained to the wrong person. She threw her phone on the bed and went to take a shower. After taking a bath, she took a paper and pen and lay on the bed, making a list of household chores, and then thinking about how to allocate them. About an hour later, after she made the arrangements, she took the piece of paper and walked out of the bedroom to find Shin Lingfeng. Before getting married, Shin Lingfeng lived alone and had no habit of closing the door to his room. After getting married, he closed the bedroom door when he slept because there was a woman in the house that he didn't like. But in the study, he still retained his original habit of not closing the door. Shuzhen didn't find him in the master bedroom, so she found the study room. At this time, he was sitting on the sofa reading a book. When she knocked on the door, he looked up. Before she could speak, he had already spoken. There is no more fruit. Remember to buy some fruit tomorrow. The Shen family has the habit of eating fruit every day, so Shen Lingfeng cleared the dining table, took a shower, and wanted to get some fruit to eat, only to realize that she didn't buy any fruit when she was grocery shopping today. At that time, he was a little annoyed and was about to question her, but then he thought that maybe she didn't have the habit of eating fruit at home, so he didn't think of buying it. As soon as she appeared in front of him, he instinctively reminded her. She stood at the door of the study looking dumbfounded, but actually she was thinking about what he ordered. Fruit is not cheap and she won't eat it every day, but she neglects the wealthy CEO under the same roof. Although his tone was like a boss ordering his employees to do work, she thought that the job of grocery shopping was assigned to her, so she didn't care about it. I know, I will buy fruit every day starting from tomorrow. With that said, she walked into the study and handed him the paper in her hand. This is the household chores distribution list. Take a look. Shen Lingfeng put down the book and took the piece of paper, but his eyes were still on her face. What were you thinking at the door just now? The question came out of nowhere, and she looked at him with confusion. Aren't you happy if I ask you to buy fruit? Hearing this, Zhen realized that he had misunderstood and quickly explained. There's nothing wrong with buying fruit while shopping for groceries. I was just thinking that I don't have the habit of eating fruit every day, so I neglected you. Yes, when you buy groceries, you can't just think about what you want to eat, but also think about what the people who live under the same roof with you need to eat. Seeing that he was serious, Zhen couldn't help but tease him. You don't eat fruit for a day, so you're in a bad mood. Yes, I'm in a bad mood. Speaking in an indifferent tone, he lowered his head to look at the housework distribution table in his hand. Zhen curled her lips and rolled her eyes in her heart. Lin Jing also said that he has a sense of humor. Where is that? She went to sit down on the couch, studying his face to see if he was satisfied with her chore list. But there was no expression on his overly handsome face, and naturally no emotion or thoughts could be seen. This was the first time she looked at him so seriously and carefully, and found that her husband was really handsome, a peerless kind. If she were introduced to Lin Jing one day, she would definitely be married to the right person given Lin Jing's pretty personality. In fact, she doesn't value people's appearance, especially men's, because she has been brainwashed by her grandfather since she was a child. A man's appearance is not important, but his quality is. Chapter 17 Shen Lingfeng is coming. Shen Lingfeng looked at the housework allocation list with interest. There is no need for him to do housework or anything like that, just ask the housekeeper to come to their house. To him, this is a game. If she wants to play, he will play with her and see what trick she can do. Look at this marriage, what is she planning? She gets off work early, so she does the grocery shopping and cooking, and buys daily necessities regularly. After the meal, he washed the dishes, cleared the dining table and kitchen counter, and took out the trash. She gets up early and does the washing and drying. He does tasks that are more strenuous for girls, such as climbing and lifting heavy objects. It is up to him to purchase items that need to be transported by vehicle. Each person is responsible for cleaning the rooms and bathrooms they use. Partial or comprehensive cleaning is carried out every weekend depending on the situation. General cleaning is required at the end of each month, and the two parties divide the work to complete it. At first glance, it seemed like a simple division of labor. Shen Lingfeng didn't see anything wrong, and he didn't think too much and just took it one step at a time. Anyway, he didn't plan to call the housekeeper back for the time being to see what the situation would be like after sharing the housework with her. He looked up at her with indifferent eyes. She saw his gaze and asked, "Have you finished reading it?" He hummed. "Any questions?" "No problem. So it's carried out like this. Are you sure you have allocated everything? If there are any problems, we can discuss it. Are you a person who can discuss things well?" After she finished speaking, there was a hint of teasing and also a hint of provocation in her eyes. The corners of his mouth curled slightly. "Just do it." He dropped the paper on the coffee table. Zhen didn't take the paper back and walked out the door with his crutches. He picked up the book and continued reading without looking up. "Remember to buy some fruit." Hearing this, Zhen turned her back to him and rolled her eyes. "I have a good memory." Back in the bedroom, she sat on the bed, looking thoughtful. Shen Lingfeng showed no resistance, accepted the sharing of housework without saying a word, and had no objection to her allocation, which was really strange. She always felt that most men resisted doing housework. Even if they did it, they would be reluctant to do it and would complain more or less. She sent Lin Jing a WeChat message. Jing, will your dad help your mom with housework? Lin Jing was reading a novel on her mobile phone. Seeing that the WeChat message was from her, she replied quickly. Occasionally my mother asks him to do it, and he will do it. Shuzhen, then does he complain? Lin Jing, that must be complained about. If you don't complain, then you take the initiative and wait for my mother to tell you to do it. Why, your husband refuses to help you with housework. Shuzhen, no, I made a housework allocation list, and my husband had no objection. I felt strange, so I asked. Lin Jing, my dear, you are marrying the right person. Shuzhen. Whether Shen Lingfeng is really willing to share their housework can only be judged by watching his performance tomorrow. The next day, when Shuzhen got up early as usual, Shen Lingfeng hadn't gotten up yet, so she still made breakfast for him, which was still poached eggs, milk and toast. He didn't say anything else, so she wouldn't do anything else. People have mouths. If you have any thoughts, you should speak them out. You should not hold them in your heart and wait for others to guess or ask. Moreover, she felt that Shen Lingfeng was definitely not a person who would hold back his words. Like yesterday, Shen Lingfeng walked into the restaurant before she went to work. Early in the morning, she saw a person appearing in front of her. She instinctively. Good morning. Shen Lingfeng said, glanced at her, sat down and said lightly, good morning. Hearing this greeting, Shuzhen was stunned for a moment. Why is this man in such a good mood this morning? He actually knows how to be polite. She looked at him and saw that he was lazy and his eyes were slightly narrowed, as if he hadn't slept enough. So this man only knows how to be polite when he doesn't sleep enough and is not mentally alert enough? Thinking of this, Shuzhen smiled slightly and stopped looking at him. When the time came, she got up and walked out of the restaurant. I'm going to work. Suddenly thinking of something, she turned around and said, after breakfast, remember to wash the tableware. Shen Lingfeng raised his head and looked at her coldly. Didn't I wash it yesterday? Seeing the look in his eyes, Shuzhen's heart skipped a beat. I was in a good mood just now, why did I suddenly feel bad? Just because he was asked to wash his own dishes. A moody man. Shuzhen said fearlessly, you didn't wash it, you just put it in the sink. Shen Lingfeng looked at her silently for a moment. I know. After hearing the answer, Shuzhen left, but she murmured in her heart. A wife should be tough when she should be tough. Like her mother, she was too weak and was bullied by her stepfather for more than 20 years. After getting in the car, Shuzhen said hello to Sister Qin, and then took out her mobile phone to check moments. She saw Jiang Jingzhen took a beautiful photo early in the morning and posted it on WeChat Moments with the caption. Today is going to be a great day. No matter how she looked at it, she felt that Jiang Jingzhen's makeup was too gaudy and didn't look like the makeup she would wear to work today, but she was wearing a uniform. After entering the bank, Shuzhen found that the atmosphere was a little strange. All his colleagues were sitting in their seats seriously. Although there is almost no blind spot in the surveillance video, everyone is very relaxed before the business opens, and even walks around and chats. Even when the business opens, no one is so nervous as if facing a great enemy. Seeing Yang Hui looking in the mirror twice in 1 minute, with her lips bright red, Shuzhen was very curious. What day is it today? Why did you change your lipstick to such a bright color? Yang Hui pouted her lips slightly. Does this color look good? I borrowed it from Jiang Jingzhen. The image of bank employees must be dignified. Such a bright red color is actually not suitable. Shuzhen could only express it euphemistically. It's dazzling. Yang Hui winked, just be dazzling. Then, she said slightly excitedly, Shen Lingfeng will come to our branch today. Shuzhen just took a sip of water and almost spit it out. I coughed a few times. Shen Lingfeng is coming. Yeah, I'm coming. Oh my god, it's so great to see him in person. He's so handsome in person. He's so tall, at least 185. Have you met him? I haven't seen it. I heard it from someone at the headquarters. After saying this, Yang Hui suddenly laughed, har. It's really funny. The security guard said that Jiang Yi had arrived at our branch at 8 o'clock today, dressed very coquettishly. The security guard hadn't come to open the door at that time, so she called President Fang and scolded him. Jiang Jingzhen must have known about it in advance. She looked like she was going to a banquet with her makeup. Do you think this woman is very scheming? Our colleagues are so happy and friendly, but she didn't tell us about such an important matter. Hearing this, Shuzhen said in her heart that it was no wonder that the photos Jiang Jingzhen posted on WeChat moments early in the morning were so gorgeous. But those things weren't what she cared about. Why is Xin Lingfeng here? Chapter 18. Don't you feel bad at all? Isn't it a merger? Jiang Jingzhen said that Mr. Shen suddenly wanted to inspect OCL's branches and picked a few branches. One of them is our branch. I heard that the new president of the head office is also here. Jiang Jingzhen also said that all OCL branches will be renamed AK Bank by the end of next month. Shen is really resolute. Shuzhen stroked a pen and listened quietly to Yang Hui's words. Except for the business department of the head office, the performance of the Blue Sky branch is the best. The group president wants to inspect the branches, so it is natural to choose the Blue Sky branch. She guessed right. Lantian branch was indeed selected because of its good performance, but the person who selected it was Shen Lingfeng's assistant Yang Zhuming. In Tianhua Garden, Shen Lingfeng got into the car that came to pick him up, and Yang Zhuming, who was in the passenger seat, handed him the list of inspection sites for review. Shen Lingfeng glanced at it and saw a familiar branch name, Lantian branch. Yang Zhuming had expected that his boss would name this outlet. Yes, boss. Shen Lingfeng wanted to confirm, what is this branch? It's the outlet where madam works. Shen Lingfeng looked at the assistant with cold eyes, thinking that the assistant chose this outlet because Shuzhen worked there. Yang Zhuming hurriedly explained, this branch is OCL's grassroots branch with the best performance besides the head office business department. Didn't you say you want to select the one with the best performance? After listening to the assistant's explanation, Shen Lingfeng lowered his eyes, calmed down his emotions, and said, Yang Zhuming cautiously asked, do you want to cancel? Shen Lingfeng gave him a cold look. Why cancel? Yes, boss. Which branch should we go to first? President Zhang is waiting for your instructions. Shen Lingfeng knocked on the list and thought for a while. Go to the sales department of the head office first. Somehow, he felt a little weird. It was difficult for him to admit that it was because he was going to inspect the place where his newlywed wife worked and see the status of her work. 2 hours after the business opened, the employees at the business hall of OCL Lantian branch did not see Shen Lingfeng coming to inspect, and they all thought he would not come. Or maybe he came and left after meeting with the branch leaders upstairs. Everyone's nerves relaxed. Zhao Honglai, the lobby manager, told the private counter that there was an old lady who didn't know how to use the ATM machine, but she spoke Li City dialect and couldn't speak Mandarin. Shuzhen was the only Li City person in this outlet, so she had no choice but to walk out of the private counter on crutches and go to the ATM. After teaching the old lady how to use the ATM machine, Shuzhen heard yelling and cursing coming from the business hall, so she walked in to see what was going on. Over at the smart counter, a middle-aged man angrily pointed at Jiang Jingzhen and scolded her for not being good at her business, causing his bank card to be swallowed by the machine. Jiang Jingzhen couldn't stand the anger and scolded the man. She didn't notice President Fang, Shen Lingfeng, Jiang Yi and others walking into the business hall. Shuzhen glanced at the group of people, and then went to resolve the dispute between the client and Jiang Jingzhen. She gently pulled Jiang Jingzhen away, told her in a low voice that the president was here, and then sincerely apologized to the customer. Please wait a moment, I will help you take out the bank card right away. This customer is not an unreasonable person. After hearing Shuzhen's apology and seeing her using a cane, although her face was still ugly, her anger was not so bad and she stopped scolding Jiang Jingzhen. But Jiang Jingzhen was frightened and stood there blankly. When she heard President Fang asking her to go back to the public counter, she came to her senses and left in a hurry. Shuzhen turned on the machine, took out the customer's bank card, and heard Jiang Yi say, Jiang Jingzhen is an employee at the public counter. She is still in the internship period and does not know much about private business. Shen Lingfeng remained silent, and President Fang and others did not speak either. The business hall, with customers coming and going, is not the place to investigate employee issues. Shuzhen focused on instructing customers on how to use the smart counter. This customer wanted cross-border remittances and printing. In less than 10 minutes, the two businesses were completed, and the customer also understood how to use the smart counter. After the customer left, Shuzhen discovered that Shen Lingfeng and others had been behind her, obviously watching how she guided the customer to handle business. Her name is Shuzhen, and she is an employee at the private counter. Because the manpower was tight, she felt that her sprained foot was not a serious injury, so she came to work. President Fang did not expect that Zhen would go to the hall to guide customers on crutches, so he explained that she wanted to show off so that Feng would not think that he was abusing his employees. Zhen looked into Feng's deep black eyes, and was wondering whether to step forward and say, "Hello, Mr. Shen," respectfully, but she heard Feng say a faint hum and turned around and walked towards the public counter. Zhen breathed a sigh of relief and was very satisfied with Feng's cold and indifferent look. No one would suspect that it was not the first time they met, and there was no speculation. President Fang didn't even look at Zhen and followed quickly. Yang Zhuming glanced at Zhen before leaving, with a calm expression, as if he thought she was an ordinary employee. But he was very surprised. His wife injured her foot, why did she still come to work? Doesn't he, the boss, feel distressed at all? Jiang Yi and Zhang Wenxing also looked at Zhen again, with unclear emotions in their eyes. Zhen could understand that everyone would find it strange if she came to work with a cane. When she returned to the private counter, she saw Yang Hui smiling at her eagerly. What a great show! Jiang Jingzhen is so embarrassed. Do you think it will affect her chances of becoming a regular employee? Why is she the one who guides private clients? Zhen was puzzled. Yang Hui sneered, I don't know what's wrong with her brain today. She took the initiative to do a job she doesn't understand. Maybe it's because the big boss is coming today and she wants to show off. Then she still quarrels with clients. The young lady got angry and forgot to pretend. You said she has been here for almost a year and she doesn't even know how to use the smart counter. Zhen smiled faintly, said nothing, and refused to fall into Yang Hui's trap. According to the bank's unwritten rules, the internship period is 1 year, half a year at the private counter and half a year at the public counter. But Jiang Jingzhen didn't want to work at the private counter. She said she would be transferred to the corporate settlement department of the head office in the future. Jiang Jingzhen has Jiang Yi as her backer, so President Fang doesn't dare to force her. Since Jiang Jingzhen refused to leave the corporate counter, Zhen could not rotate to the corporate counter and could only stay at the private counter until the internship period was over. Jiang Jingzhen is indeed a young lady. She has never been to a bank to do business and does not know how to use the smart counter. However, the lobby manager taught her how to do it when she first entered the bank, but she didn't take it seriously and had never done it before, thinking it was easy. As a result, she caused trouble today. Yang Hui wanted to seduce Zhen to vent her dissatisfaction with Jiang Jingzhen. Seeing that Zhen was not fooled, Yang Hui stopped talking to her and looked at Feng in the hall like a nymphomaniac. If Feng were a strange and handsome boy, Zhen would admire him with bright eyes, but he was a handsome boy, but he was not a stranger. She would feel strange if she wanted to take another look at him. Chapter 19. She said she didn't care about him, but he would never believe it. It happened that the tablet showed that there were several authorized transactions to be processed. After Zhen finished processing, he stood up and looked towards the hall, but Feng was no longer there. At this moment, Feng was in the president's office on the second floor, listening to Fang Lei's report on the personnel and business situation of Lantian branch. Sitting on the single sofa, he could just see the surveillance video screen diagonally opposite. There were several picture frames, including private and public counters and halls. He put his right arm on the armrest, clasping the armrest with his fingers as if playing a piano, his eyes fixed on the screen, watching Zhen's every move at work. In the eyes of others, he does not look at a certain person, but at the entire business hall. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly, and emotions flashed in his dark eyes like deep pools. It seems that he is quite focused on his work. However, I don't know if it's just because he is here, just pretending. Who wouldn't understand that when the big boss comes to inspect the work, he shows a serious attitude towards work? What's more, given her relationship with him, she was so scheming and she had to show it to him. Fang Lei sat on the single sofa across from him and skillfully praised his achievements in the past year and a half of his tenure. He glanced at the big boss with anxious eyes from time to time. Since the big boss didn't even look at him, he couldn't help but worry that the big boss didn't listen to him. But when his speech ended, Feng gave him a timely look, coldly. Net profit is 900 million. Why do I remember it is 1.3 billion? Feng's gaze already made Fang Lei a little unbearable, and when he heard these words, he was even more scared to sweat. He looked shaky, said, "Oh," twice, and couldn't say a word. Yang Zhuming observed his words and leaned slightly towards Feng. 1.3 billion is the net profit of the previous year. What President Fang just reported was last year's net profit. Hearing this, Shen Lingfeng frowned. 400 million dropped in 1 year? Are you taking a roller coaster ride? Although Zhang Wenxing has just taken up the position, he has basically understood the situation of not only AK but also the newly acquired OCL. The Lanqian branch was the acting president Chen Mingtong the year before last, right? Yang Zhuming nodded and said, yes. What about Chen Mingtong now? Shen Lingfeng asked. Yang Zhuming had already expected that the boss would definitely ask Chen Mingtong about the changes in Lanqian branch's performance over the past 2 or 3 years. He already had the information. Chen Mingtong has been transferred to Wushan Road branch as deputy president. Shen Lingfeng couldn't help but frown again. Why do I remember that Wushan Road branch is OCL's worst performing branch? No one speaks, which is the default. Fang Lei was also speechless, looking uneasy, and turned to Jiang Yi for help. Jiang Yi gave him a calm look, smiled slightly, and looked at Shen Lingfeng. Chen Mingtong made some mistakes, so he was transferred to the Wushan Road branch, but he was not demoted. After a pause, she said lightly, the environment last year was not good, and it is normal that the performance was not as good as the year before. President Fang should have written an analysis report. Hearing Jiang Yi speak for him, Fang Lei quickly agreed, yes, of course there is. The reasons for the decline in net profit were analyzed in the year-end report. Shen Lingfeng was embarrassed to rebuke his subordinates without understanding the reason, so he said, in a low voice. He watched the surveillance video for a while, and when he saw Shuzhen getting up from his seat and looking at the hall, he couldn't help but curl up the corners of his mouth slightly. He would never believe her if she said she didn't care about him. She must be counting on him to say a word and she will become a regular person smoothly. Others saw Shen Lingfeng staring at the surveillance video and didn't understand what attracted him in the business hall. Only Yang Zhuming knew clearly that the boss was looking at his wife. Shen Lingfeng withdrew his gaze and stood up. Seeing this, the subordinates also stood up quickly. Fang Lei's eyes suddenly met Shen Lingfeng's cold eyes, and he was shocked. This screen has been removed. Can employees relax and work knowing that the president is always watching them while they work? With that said, Shen Lingfeng walked towards the door. When Fang Lei heard this, he repeatedly said, yes, to Shen Lingfeng's back, retreat immediately, retreat immediately. Shen Lingfeng ignored him and went straight downstairs, saying to Zhang Wenxing beside him, go to the next branch. Shuzhen had finished all the work on her hands, and was flipping through this month's report, when she suddenly heard Yang Hui laugh, They must have been called to the second floor for training. Shuzhen looked up at the hall and saw Jiang Jingzhen walking out of the business hall with a depressed look on her face. About half an hour later, Jiang Jingzhen came back and walked into the private counter with a stern face. Shuzhen, President Fang said that you will go to the corporate counter starting tomorrow, and I will go to the private counter. Hearing this, Shuzhen was stunned for a moment, and was instantly surprised and happy. There is less than a month left before the end of my internship, and I didn't expect that I would be transferred to the corporate counter. She couldn't help thinking maliciously that the commotion Jiang Jingzhen had caused today was really too good to be true. In fact, we can't blame Shuzhen for having such a gloating mentality. She has always looked down upon people like Jiang Jingzhen who have a bad work attitude. Such people should learn a lesson so as not to cause trouble to their colleagues. Since Shuzhen didn't respond in time, Jiang Jingzhen asked impatiently, did you hear that? Yang Hui winked at Shuzhen, half smiling, but she ignored him and nodded to Jiang Jingzhen. Well, I understand. Jiang Jingzhen curled her lips, as if she wanted to show off, but she restrained herself and left the private counter without saying anything else. At this time, the counter was deserted and there were no customers. Yang Hui slid her seat next to Shuzhen. There is a new boss, and President Fang is now emboldened to not give Jiang Yi face. Shuzhen ignored her and concentrated on reviewing this morning's business summons. When the news came out that AK Bank had completed its merger with OCL Bank, there was also news that AK Bank was changing its head office president and the whereabouts of the president of OCL head office was unknown. People who adapt to the situation may think that Jiang Yi has lost his backers, such as President Fang and Yang Hui. But Shuzhen heard from Mr. Shen that Shen Lingfeng graduated from Gaoxia University, and Jiang Yi also graduated from that famous university. Judging from their age, Shen Lingfeng and Jiang Yi might have a friendship as classmates. If this is the case, Jiang Yi has a lot of backers. Judging from the fact that she accompanied Shen Lingfeng for inspection today, the two of them should be familiar with each other. And although Shuzhen has been working for less than a year, Many people have said that Jiang Yi is very strong in both communication and work abilities. Yang Hui touched Xu Zhen's shoulder and said, Jiang Jingzhen doesn't dare to offend President Fang. He might take it out on you. Be careful. Xu Zhen glanced at Yang Hui and smiled, I will work hard. Xu Zhen has been working with Jiang Jingzhen for almost a year, and she has never seen her do anything secretive. It's just the young lady's temper. Seeing Xu Zhen's disapproval, Yang Hui rolled her eyes at her, feeling disgusted that she didn't listen to the warning. Xu Zhen ignored her and focused on her work. Chapter 20, His wife was ridiculed. Shen Lingfeng was very unhappy. Xu Zhen never imagined that it was Jiang Yi's instruction to President Fang that she was transferred to the corporate counter. As she walked out of Fang Lei's office, she took out her phone and sent him a WeChat message. Transfer Jiang Jingzhen to the private counter. Fang Lei was following behind her. When he saw the WeChat message she sent him, he glanced at her back in surprise. I will be promoted to a full-time employee in less than a month, but you are transferring me to another position now. Jiang Yi, with her back to Fang Lei, rolled her eyes. How could this person be so brainless? Her niece made a mistake in front of the group president and the president of the head office. If she is not transferred to the private counter to learn, is she waiting to be fired? She even used more force to type, yes, I will adjust it today. After leaving the Lantian branch, she and Zhang Wenxing got into Shen Lingfeng's Rolls-Royce because Shen Lingfeng wanted to hear their opinions after the inspection. After talking about the equipment of the business hall, Zhang Wenxing talked about the staffing. OCL has too few staff quotas for each grassroots branch. Even employees with foot injuries have to use crutches to come to work. Hearing this, Shen Lingfeng's ink-like eyes quickly flashed with emotion. He really wanted to hear what the two executives in front of him thought of Xu Zhen coming to work on crutches. Jiang Yi glanced at Shen Lingfeng's face and smiled when she saw that he had no expression. I think that employee is very expressive. Seeing that Shen Lingfeng glanced at her and seemed to want to hear her continue, she became bolder and said, OCL won't be so harsh on employees. If you hurt your foot, you can definitely take leave to rest. If the grassroots branches are short of manpower, they can be transferred from the headquarters. Maybe she is still an intern and is afraid that taking leave will affect her permanent job, so it is understandable that she comes to work on crutches. But after a pause, seeing that Shen Lingfeng remained calm, she chuckled and said, since she needs to use crutches to walk, she should stay at the counter. There is no need to use crutches to walk around the hall to serve customers. If you show it to customers like this, doesn't it mean that our bank mistreats its employees? To the private counter she is not the only one. At this point, she smiled deliberately again, Mr. Shen, maybe I knew you were coming to inspect and came out specifically to show it to you, right? Jiang Yi's half-serious and half-joking remarks made Zhang Wenxing frown. His first impression of Xu Zhen was quite good, but it was not uncommon for employees to be scheming in order to please their bosses. Like Jiang Yi, he turned his attention to Shen Lingfeng and wanted to know what the big boss thought about this. As long as Shen Lingfeng is willing to restrain himself, his thoughts and emotions will not be shown on his face, and they will not be able to tell anything. But at this moment, his mood was a bit ups and downs. He originally thought that the wife he was unwilling to marry was scheming, but he didn't expect that the two executives who had never met her had a bad impression of her. Jiang Yi said she was expressive, but actually she meant she was scheming. Zhang Wenxing didn't say anything, that is, he agreed with Jiang Yi's view. His wife was ridiculed for being scheming, which made Shen Lingfeng very unhappy. But he couldn't get angry because he missed his wife the same way. Not wanting to show off in front of his subordinates, he looked out the window coldly. Seeing Shen Lingfeng's cold expression, Jiang Yi thought her words had swayed him. He might have forgotten Jiang Jingzhen's mistake now and firmly remembered Xu Zhen, an employee who loved to show off and was very scheming. Then, a proud smile flashed across her lips. Yang Zhuming, who was sitting in the passenger seat, heard what Jiang Yi said clearly, and his brows furrowed tightly, forming a deep groove. He sympathizes with the boss, and feels that the boss has brought it upon himself and is unwilling to disclose that he is married. Now there are people who are talking about their wives, but they cannot get angry. Although Assistant Jiang is shrewd but sometimes naive, he never imagined that his boss actually agreed with Jiang Yi's words and thought his wife was a scheming woman. During lunch break, Xu Zhen ate her takeaway lunch while sending a WeChat message to her mother, asking her if she had eaten and how her injuries were. Her mother replied, I am having dinner with Xinghua now. Mom is not injured and went to work today. Don't worry. Shuzhen knew that her mother would definitely avoid the important issues, but since she was able to go to work and when Xinghua was at home with her mother, she felt relieved. She thought she should talk to her stepfather and tell him that she actually wanted him to divorce her mother, but he should not beat her mother anymore, and she could persuade her mother to agree to a divorce. She looked at her stepfather's latest circle of friends and found that he had gone to Hong Kong again. She planned to wait for him to come back and take the initiative to talk to him. After get off work in the afternoon, Yang Hui left the counter before Shuzhen. As soon as she walked out the door, she turned back. Is that business car at the door here to pick you up? Shuzhen guessed that the car parked at the door at this time should be the car driven by Sister Qin, and nodded, yeah. Wow, Shuzhen, you are so humble, but I never expected that there would be a luxury car to take you to and from get off work. Yang Hui was startled. Shuzhen saw it and smiled awkwardly. This is not a luxury car. She doesn't know much about cars, but she heard from Sister Qin that the car arranged for her by the property management company was a Mercedes-Benz V-Class MPV, which cost hundreds of thousands. Compared with Xin Lingfeng's Bentley and Rolls-Royce cars that cost millions or even tens of millions. Les could not be said to be expensive, so she thought it was not a luxury car. When Yang Hui heard what she said, she squinted at her, trying not to smile. In your eyes, a Mercedes-Benz V-Class costing 600,000 renminbi to 700,000 renminbi is not a luxury car. Do you have a Bentley worth millions? Shuzhen smiled lightly. Sister Hui, don't tease me. I don't even have an electric car worth several thousand yuan. That car belongs to the property management of the community where my friend lives. They provide short-term use of vehicles to owners. I live with my friend, so I enjoy this service. Yang Hui still looked like she wanted to laugh but couldn't. Your friend is your boyfriend, right? Shuzhen didn't expect her to have such an association. She was stunned and quickly denied it. No. In Yang Hui's eyes, she looked guilty. Why don't you admit that you have a boyfriend? Really? Even if your boyfriend lives in a luxury community that provides car services, I won't steal your boyfriend. What are you afraid of? Having said that, she turned around and left. Shuzhen looked at her back as she walked away, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Now that's great, Yang Hui, the big mouth, will definitely tell everyone that she has a boyfriend who lives in a luxurious neighborhood, and even the people at the headquarters will know about it. Even if the people at the headquarters didn't know the intern Shuzhen, Yang Hui could still vividly describe how great her partner was. Shuzhen sighed helplessly and continued to pack up the work materials that she would hand over to Jiang Jingzhen tomorrow. As it was getting close to the end of the get-off-work day, she suggested to Jiang Jingzhen that they hand over their work today, but Jiang Jingzhen was in a hurry to leave work and disagreed, saying that the handover should be done tomorrow morning. Chapter 21. Is he playing tricks on her? Shuzhen never dreamed that after Yang Hui walked out the door, she would actually knock on Sister Qin's car window. Sister Qin knew that she was a colleague of the boss's wife and thought that something happened to her, so she opened the car window. Yang Hui grinned at Sister Qin. Hello. Sister Qin politely replied, hello. Are you here to pick up Shuzhen? Sister Qin nodded, yes. Yang Hui's eyes flickered. Why didn't Shuzhen's boyfriend come to pick her up? Why did you come to pick her up? The inexplicable question made Sister Qin stunned. The boss's wife's boyfriend. Although Sister Qin had no idea why Yang Hui asked this, she remembered that the boss's wife had reminded her not to tell anyone about her relationship with Xin Lingfeng because she had not disclosed that she was married. Sister Qin played dumb. I don't know if she has a boyfriend, I'm the one who always picks her up. Yang Hui stuck her head into the car, leaned close to Sister Qin, and whispered, she doesn't allow you to tell me, right? She's been keeping it a secret about having a boyfriend. Is her boyfriend a spy? Sister Qin felt that the boss's wife, her colleague, really had no sense of propriety at all, and frowned. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're talking about. Yang Hui pulled her head back and stood up straight. Forget it. I'll interrogate her when I get the chance. Having said that, she finally left. Seeing her leave, Sister Qin looked at the time and suddenly felt a little worried. Madam, why are you out so late today? What happened to the injured foot? She opened the car door and was about to get out to look into the business hall when Shuzhen came out leaning on a cane. Sister Qin hurriedly got out of the car and helped Shuzhen to the back seat. Is your foot okay? Sister Qin saw that Shuzhen looked fine, but she was still a little worried. Shuzhen held the seat with both hands and moved in, it's almost healed. I guess I can walk normally the day after tomorrow without the need for crutches. The foot injury healed faster than she expected, she could no longer feel the pain, and the redness and swelling had disappeared. Hearing this, Sister Qin felt relieved and got into the driver's seat to drive. Back at Tianhuayuan, Shuzhen went to the supermarket and bought 3 kilograms of apples, 1 kilogram of bananas, and 1 kilogram of peaches before returning home. Since she had already bought several days of groceries yesterday, she did not buy any more groceries today. Xinlingfeng didn't say what kind of fruit she wanted to buy, so she just bought it according to her own ideas. Apples last a long time, so buy more. Mr. Shen likes bananas and peaches, and maybe his grandson also likes them. Even if he doesn't like to eat, it doesn't matter. She loves to eat and won't waste it. She likes to eat most fruits, except durian. When she got home, she went into the bedroom and changed into home clothes, and then went into the restaurant to cook and wash vegetables. When the second dish was stir-fried, the cell phone on the dining table rang. It was a WeChat notification. Due to the inconvenience of moving, she finished frying the second dish and then went to the dining table to pick up her phone to check. It should be past 7 o'clock by this time, and Xinlingfeng hadn't come home yet. She was a little worried that Xinlingfeng had asked his assistant to inform her that he would not be back for dinner. Really? Yarn Zhuming, madam, the boss has a dinner party tonight, so he won't go home for dinner. Shuzhen was so angry that she almost rolled her eyes to the back of her head. She never believed that Xinlingfeng would have a dinner party fall from the sky at this time, 7:16. A big CEO like him must make a reservation in advance to have dinner with him. It is impossible to kidnap him to have dinner while he is on his way home. After all, he is a busy boss of a large group who spends millions of dollars every second. No matter how good a friend is, he should say it in advance. Is he kidding her? Because she asked him to share their housework. Shuzhen suddenly thought that Xinlingfeng was inspecting OCL outlets today, so after the inspection, they would probably have a meal together. In other words, this dinner was planned and there was no reason to tell her so late. Bank branches close at 4:30, and employees get off work at 5 o'clock. Thinking of this, she was so angry that she wanted to grit her teeth. She replied to Yang Zhuming, "Tell your boss, even if he doesn't come back for dinner, when he gets home, he still has to do all the housework he should do, and no one should be missing." She put down her phone and went to the kitchen cabinet to get the dishes and chopsticks, ready to eat. Fortunately, she only cooked 2 dishes. It would have been a waste if Yang Zhuming only came to WeChat after all the dishes were cooked. But if you cook too much rice, there must be some left over, so you have to throw it away. After the inspection, Xinlingfeng, together with Jiang Yi and Zhang Wenxing, invited several AK and OCL executives to have a dinner at Shen's hotel. Sitting in the box and drinking 2 or 3 sips of red wine, he remembered that he didn't tell Shuzhen that he had a dinner. He was a little unhappy because of her show of love today, so he thought about not telling her, making her think that he would go home for dinner and wait in a daze. But after drinking 2 or 3 more sips of wine, he felt guilty and ordered the assistant beside him. Tell her. Yarn Zhuming, the assistant, was very smart and knew Xinlingfeng very well. He understood what was going on as soon as he heard it. He was so surprised that his eyes almost widened. The boss didn't tell his wife that he had a dinner tonight? This dinner was planned yesterday after we decided to inspect OCL outlets. He checked the time and saw that it was already past 7 o'clock. The boss's wife must be waiting like a fool at home at this time, thinking that the boss would come home for dinner. He quickly sent a WeChat message. When he received Shuzhen's reply, he was stunned. Is the boss's wife angry? Does she want to punish her boss for doing housework, or does she want to state a fact? The fact is that the boss has to do housework at home after getting married. Yarn Zhuming could not imagine his boss doing housework, nor could he imagine that his boss would be willing to do housework. How can the boss do their housework himself when he has obviously paid a high salary to hire a housekeeper? Yarn Zhuming was puzzled. What troubles him the most right now is that he dare not personally relay this WeChat message from the boss's wife. He thought for a while, took a screenshot of this WeChat message and sent it to his boss. Then he focused on his boss, waiting for his reaction. Xinlingfeng was talking to Zhang Wenxing next to him. Although he heard the WeChat notification, he didn't intend to pay attention to it. When Yang Zhuming saw that his boss had no intention of checking his phone for a while, he felt a little anxious because he felt that maybe the boss wanted to reply to his wife's WeChat message. So, he approached the boss and whispered, "Boss, you have important WeChat messages. Shin Lingfeng looked back at his assistant. Seeing his serious look, he put down his glass and took out his mobile phone from his pocket. When he looked at WeChat, he was stunned and turned to look coldly at the assistant beside him. Facing the boss's cold eyes, with his wife's WeChat message echoing in his mind, Yang Zhuming couldn't help but reveal a wry smile. He whispered, "Do you need a reply?" Shin Lingfeng put the phone on the table and said coldly, "No need to reply." If it weren't for the wrong occasion, he would have really wanted to ask his assistant, what was the point of taking this picture to him? Is it fun? Why did his shrewd assistant suddenly become stupid after he got married? Chapter 22 Shuzhen, is it fun to play with me? The main reason why Shin Lingfeng was angry with his assistant was of course because of the content of the screenshots. He was having a dinner at work, and his wife reminded him to go home and do some housework. He thought Shuzhen was just angry and that the WeChat message was just to vent his emotions, so he quickly let it go and no longer took it seriously. Of course, it doesn't feel like he really has housework waiting for him to do when he gets home. After people finish eating, of course they wash the dishes and take out the trash. He was like this when he was living alone. He returned home drunk, sat down on the sofa in the living room, closed his eyes, and didn't want to move for the time being. Shuzhen was in the bedroom, chatting with Lin Jing on WeChat. When she heard the door open, she knew he was back. "My bastard husband is back, I have to ask him to do housework." After sending this WeChat message to Lin Jing, Shuzhen got out of bed and walked out of the bedroom to find Shin Lingfeng. When she walked into the living room and saw him slumped on the sofa, she couldn't help but think. Are you acting for her? For example, it means that he is tired and has no energy to do housework anymore. Shin Lingfeng heard her footsteps, opened his eyes, and slowly turned his head to look over. She does not use crutches. No wonder he felt strange that he heard the footsteps but not the sound of the cane hitting the floor. His deep voice was slightly hoarse, "Is your foot okay?" Shuzhen instinctively looked down at her left foot and said, "Yes, I can walk normally." When she took a shower just now, she tried to stand for a while and found that her feet no longer hurt. She tried to walk a few steps slowly and found that she could walk normally again. However, we cannot take it lightly. We can only walk slowly, not fast, let alone run. After hearing her answer, Shin Lingfeng sat upright, sneered in his heart, and stared at her deeply. "Since you can walk normally, why are you using a cane in the business office today?" His tone was calm, but Shuzhen felt something was wrong with his expression, thinking it was because he had been drinking. "I didn't know I could walk at that time. I tried walking just now and found that walking slowly is no problem." Yeah. With that said, he stood up and planned to leave the living room. The effect of alcohol made him not want to think about things, and he just felt that Shuzhen was really scheming. Even though his foot was healed, he still walked around the business hall on crutches to serve customers, which made the leaders who came to inspect him feel good about him. Shuzhen heard that his tone had changed, as strange as his expression, but without thinking about it, she still thought it was because of drinking. She moved slowly and followed him. "Are you not drunk?" Shin Lingfeng was in a very unhappy mood at the moment and said angrily, "I'm not drunk." "Since you're not drunk, then do your chores." Hearing this, Shin Lingfeng immediately stopped on the aisle. He cursed silently in his mind. She actually left the housework to him. He turned around slowly and stared at her coldly. "Are you serious?" Shuzhen had expected that he would be unhappy, but she was not afraid of him, because one compromise would lead to countless compromises. Just like her mother, unless she leaves completely, there is no chance to turn over. If he could respect her today and tell her in advance that he won't come back for dinner, she wouldn't be so serious. She said seriously, "Of course I'm serious." "Do you know what this means?" "What does it mean?" She asked instinctively, thinking, why is it weird? He seems to be discussing some profound issue? If it's not just doing housework, what else does it mean? Shin Lingfeng felt that his head hurt and couldn't help but stretched out his hand to rub his forehead. However, he did not forget his anger towards her and replied to her. "It means that you care about everything and are not qualified to be my wife, Shin Lingfeng, and the daughter-in-law of the Shin family." Shin Lingfeng never raised his voice and spoke in a calm or cold tone. He mainly judged his emotional changes through his expression. So Shuzhen laughed in her heart when she saw that his tone remained unchanged and his expression was bored. "Humph, did you, Shin Lingfeng, ever have the time when I was qualified to be your wife? Not from the beginning, right? I have already planned to part ways with you in a year, so I will not be careful to please you. Just think of me as being fussy. I won't be fussy with you. After saying that, she walked forward, slowly, back to her bedroom. Shin Lingfeng stayed where he was, savoring the uncomfortable feeling in his heart. After a while, he laughed to himself. He really married a very strong wife, and she was not afraid of offending him. She's not afraid of pissing him off. Can't she be considered a wealthy lady? Is she playing hard to get? Thinking too much would give him a headache, so he stopped thinking and walked towards the restaurant. I entered the restaurant, looked at the dining table, then looked at the counter and sink. They were clean and there was no tableware that needed to be washed, not even a pair of chopsticks or a small spoon. His anger rose. I curse it again in my heart. You're playing a trick on him. He turned abruptly, walked out of the dining room and headed towards her bedroom. Shuzhen returned to the bedroom, picked up her phone, and saw that Lin Jing had replied to her WeChat message. The relationship has improved very quickly. After just a few days, they are like an old married couple and they can already call each other dead ghost. Dear, are you deliberately provoking me, a single dog? I will punish you by treating me to hot pot. Shuzhen looked at the message and snorted coldly. It's not that the feelings are escalating, it's the feeling of boredom that is escalating. She entered a text to reply to Lin Jing, and because the door was open, she heard his footsteps approaching quickly. She stopped typing and listened with confusion on her face, thinking, why are you walking so fast? Drunk men are really troublesome. Alas, I can only pray that he won't spread the trash. She lowered her head and was about to continue typing when she suddenly heard a cold sentence from the door. Shuzhen, are you having fun playing with me? Shuzhen was confused and looked up at the door. Shin Lingfeng stood in the middle of the door, his sharp eyes like a line so straight and sharp that blood could be seen at the slightest touch. Shuzhen's heart trembled. He looked really angry. But she didn't understand. What do you mean? Why am I playing tricks on you? Shin Lingfeng never yelled at women, and would only express his anger through his face and words. Where are the damn dishes you used that you left for me to wash? Shuzhen suddenly realized it and almost laughed out loud. She cleared her throat and said calmly, I have a good habit. I will wash the tableware immediately after eating. If I leave it for a while, I will feel uncomfortable. So, I washed the tableware, but the garbage was not taken out. She said this with a calm face. Hearing this, his heart became even more blocked and he stared at her harder. Then why didn't you say it? Chapter 23 can't be a mistress. Shuzhen muttered in her heart, I didn't know you were not happy when you saw that there were no dishes to wash, but you became angry instead. She said righteously, I never thought you would think that I am the kind of person who doesn't wash the dishes after dinner and leaves them for you to wash. If it weren't for my inconvenient legs and feet, maybe I would even take out the garbage. This is the truth. Although she sent that WeChat message to Yan Zhuming in anger, if her feet were convenient, she really couldn't help but take out the trash. She has developed the habit of finishing her work in one go. Shin Lingfeng was speechless and too angry to speak. She's playing tricks. But he didn't know what the structure of her brain was and what kind of tricks she had devised. In the end, she still didn't dare to leave the dishes for him to wash, but she left the garbage. The reason sounded very good. But the whole thing looks a little weird. Is her ultimate goal to boast that she has a good habit of washing dishes after eating? Shin Lingfeng couldn't figure it out, so he thought she was playing some trick. He had nothing to say to her, so he turned around and left to take out the trash. If Shuzhen knew that due to Shin Lingfeng's preconceptions, he felt that she had evil intentions, and that any words and deeds she said would be made into various small theaters in his mind, he would be shocked and stunned. Seeing him leaving, she thought he had accepted her explanation and was no longer angry, so she murmured in her heart. What a troublesome man. She deleted the original text and replied to Lin Jing again, correction, not the dead husband, but the troublemaker. After a while, Lin Jing replied, where to start? Shuzhen, I washed the dishes and only left the trash for him to take out. He actually came to ask me why I didn't tell him that there were no dishes to wash. Lin Jing sent a tearful smiley, dear, your husband is so funny. He must have added a lot of fun to your life. Shuzhen rolled her eyes at the message, it's obviously just adding to the trouble. Lin Jing, hurry up and introduce your funny husband to me. Shuzhen, no. If I get divorced, I will consider it. Lin Jing sent an embarrassed expression, so should I wish you a quick divorce? Shuzhen smiled, I couldn't ask for more. Lin Jing, remember to delete these messages. If your husband sees them, it will be a disaster. Xu Zhen thought of Mr. Shen. If she and Xin Lingfeng divorced in less than a year, he would probably feel uncomfortable. So this marriage must last for 1 year no matter what. Mr. Shen knew that his grandson really didn't like her, so she gave him an explanation. Don't worry, he and I are not so old that he knows the password of my phone. Then she said good night and went to bed. She got out of bed and closed the door. She didn't know that Xin Lingfeng, who went to take out the trash at nearly 10 o'clock at night, encountered a very embarrassing incident. Xin Lingfeng went downstairs carrying a bag of garbage and eating an apple in his hand. If you eat an apple after taking out the garbage, there will be more garbage like apple cores in the clean trash can at home, which will make you feel uncomfortable. When he arrived at the community's garbage station, he put the garbage bag he was carrying in his left hand into the trash can, turned around and was about to leave, when he suddenly found that he was still holding an apple core in his hand. He turned around helplessly and threw the apple core into the trash can. But somehow the apple core hit something, and it bounced out, hitting him all at once. He froze. The apple core thrown into the trash can had no trace of dirt on it, and now it popped out and touched him. Then he couldn't imagine it. He looked down at the apple core on the ground in a daze, not wanting to reach out and pick it up. Suddenly, a low, laughter came from not far away. What are you, the big boss, doing? Xin Lingfeng heard Zhang Wenxing's voice and turned to look at him with an expression of annoyance and helplessness. Zhang Wenxing also came to take out the garbage. He came over and put the garbage into the trash can. Why did you come to take out the garbage yourself? Xin Lingfeng was annoyed. If it wasn't me, who could it be? Zhang Wenxing smiled, took out a pack of tissues from his trouser pocket, pulled out a piece of tissue, and handed it to Xin Lingfeng. You paid for the housekeeper as an offering to the Bodhisattva. Xin Lingfeng took the tissue, picked up the apple core wrapped in it, and threw it into the trash can without saying a word. Can he tell his good friend and subordinate that in order to test his wife, he temporarily gave the housekeeper who paid a high salary a long leave? It's strange that Zhang Wenxing can understand. At this moment, Xin Lingfeng deeply understood the meaning of the saying that every family has scriptures that are difficult to recite. Once you read it out, others may not understand it. Zhang Wenxing saw his sullen face and smiled again when he thought of the rumors he had just heard. Where's your girlfriend? You came home so late and drank. Why didn't she help you take out the trash? Xin Lingfeng turned to look at Zhang Wenxing, who told you that I have a girlfriend. I just came down to take out the trash and overheard someone saying that the woman of the big boss on the top floor of Building C is very beautiful, even more beautiful than a celebrity. Isn't the big boss who lives on the top floor of Building C the president of our Shen family? Xin Lingfeng was not surprised. As long as a woman came in and out of his house, someone would definitely see her and be talked about. He disagreed. If she is my woman, she must be my girlfriend. Zhang Wenxing chuckled. Could it be my wife? When did you get married? Why didn't I know? Xin Lingfeng raised his eyebrows. Can't she be my mistress? Zhang Wenxing said, Hi, these days, you only have a mistress if you have a wife. If you don't have a wife, the women around you, even for fun, are called girlfriends. Xin Lingfeng disdainfully said, I want to hide it. Zhang Wenxing took out cigarettes and a lighter from his trouser pocket and handed a cigarette to Xin Lingfeng. Xin Lingfeng shook his head and didn't answer. I quit early. When did you quit? Xin Lingfeng said calmly, I don't like the smell of cigarettes. I used to just smoke a few puffs to cope with your enthusiasm. When he was in college, his classmates gathered together to smoke and offered him cigarettes. If he refused, they would make a fuss. He found it annoying, so he would occasionally take it and take a few puffs for fun. Zhang Wenxing thought about it. When he was in college, Xin Lingfeng didn't smoke very much. He smoked occasionally and burned out a cigarette before finishing it. He couldn't help but laugh. It's hard for you to keep smelling our second-hand smoke. Xin Lingfeng snorted coldly. Whatever you can do, you can't just break up with friends who you can play with just because you don't like the smell of cigarettes. Zhang Wenxing lit a cigarette and took a puff. You are not someone who has a mistress. Xin Lingfeng's eyebrows tightened slightly. Why did the topic come back again? Could it be that Zhang Wenxing has a mistress who wants to discuss this issue with him? After thinking about it, he asked, What, do you have a mistress? Zhang Wenxing didn't expect Xin Lingfeng to say such a sentence suddenly, and he immediately choked on the cigarette he just sucked into his mouth.